The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
This is Carson-Newman basketball on the Eagles Sports Network.
Outlets it forward for Boshiers, who slaloms past two defenders on the right block and sticks in the right-hand lab.
We're getting you set for game day with a countdown to tip-off, powered by Appalachian Electric Cooperative. Carson-Newman basketball is brought to you in part by Appalachian Electric Cooperative. We're AEC, powering the Eagles and Mossy Creek. By Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles. By the Eagle Club, the family of Eagles. By Pepsi, that's what I like. By Magaha Electric, providing quality electrical services and products to East Tennessee for more than 40 years. By InterDigital, IT support and marketing, laser focused on your success. By the Bible Insurance Agency, the agency that's service built. By the Aramark, a foundation of fresh food and speedy service. By Lisa's Country Kitchen, the best food for the best prices. By the Tennessee National Guard, a generation of volunteers. By Food City, value every day. By Tri-Light, dream big with gig. By Quality Suites of Morristown, an official hotel of the Carson-Newman Eagles. And by ShopCNEagles.com, the official online store of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Penland rips it away from Roberts, puts it in with the right hand as she's bowling to the ground, and one for Camel Penland.
Now, here's the voice of the Lady Eagles, Michael Watre.
Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to Harrogate, Tennessee, as Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial get set for action here on this Saturday afternoon. Great to have you along for the ride here today as the Lady Eagles look to get back in the win column for the season after losing by 10 to Belmont Abbey on Tuesday. The Lady Eagles will get their crack here in Harrogate, where they haven't been all that successful under Mike Mincy, just 4-7 here in Northeast Tennessee under Coach Mincy in his tenure. Questions abound for this group, but we'll start with Mike Mincy changing up his starting five. How does that look for the Lady Eagles here today as we get set for tip-off? Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial. Lady Eagles have won 3 straight against SAC foes. They'll try to make it 4 in a row. When we come back, Mike Mincy and I break down this matchup as we get set for tip-off. Lady Eagles and Splitters coming up here in just a moment on the AEC Countdown to Tip-Off on the Eagle Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
At InterDigital, we strive to be a leading provider of cutting-edge digital and marketing solutions. At InterDigital, we want to help our clients find success. Our team of technology gurus work together to ensure InterDigital continues to progress forward as technology advances. At InterDigital, we make technology work for you. Visit InterDigital.com for IT support, web development, virtual tours, graphic design, internet marketing, mobile app, and film production services.
InterDigital, laser-focused on your success.
Our pregame conversation with head coach Mike Mincy heads your way in 60 seconds on the Eagles Sports Network.
Since 1916, a lot of independent agents have recommended auto owners insurance, and a lot of parents have taken that recommendation to heart. So have a lot of their children, and grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. As we celebrate our first 100 years, Auto Owners Insurance thanks all those who have put their trust in us, and all the generations who will.
At Aramark, this year we go back to our foundation. At Aramark, we are great food and great service with great guests. That is the Aramark way. From coffee and Maples to sandwiches in Stokely, Aramark is here to produce high-quality food for you. A foundation of fresh food, a a foundation of speedy service, and a foundation that's built for you, now and for the future. That is the Aramark way.
Time to check in with the Lady Eagles head coach. Here's Mike Mincy alongside the voice of the Lady Eagles, Michael Watrang.
Carson-Newman is back into South Atlantic Conference play, taking on Lincoln Memorial with Coach Mike Mincy. I'm Michael Watrang here for the Eagles Sports Network. Coach, I think you mentioned it before the last game. Since Lindsey Taylor's been injured, road games haven't necessarily been this group's forte. What's the key in your eyes to playing more consistently on the road and getting a win today?
Well, if you go back to the Belmont Abbey game, I mean, you can't turn the ball over 14 times in the second half. I guess it was even by the quarters in the third and fourth quarter with 7. And it just, you're on the road. The other team typically plays better at home, and you just don't give yourself an opportunity to win by turning the ball over. And a lot of those that led in direct points. So I think we shot it okay over there. It wasn't great. We were getting to the rim fine. We just didn't take care of the basketball. And then in addition, we fouled too much, put them at the free throw line, and they did a really good job of making all their free throws. So I think just ball security. The one thing that we had with Lindsey is, when we got in droughts, we knew we could throw it in there, try to get an easy one, or she would get an offensive putback. And that's where we're probably limited the most, is we don't necessarily have that, even though we are trying to, get Harley. We've put Keeley down there a little bit, Skylar in practice, to see if we can't just get out of droughts and get an easy bucket near the rim.
What's your biggest challenge from finding a consistent rotation right now?
Well, this is obviously before the game, so we're not making excuses, that kind of thing. But youth is pretty large on our team right now. With Lindsey out, obviously that was huge, and now Max out. I don't think she's out for the year. I think she'll be back. But when 7 of your 11 are freshmen, and Skylar's only got 2 years of college experience, I think we're getting exposed from that area a little bit. And you see it in practice every day that there's just a lot more teaching that needs to go on day in and day out. And sometimes we take 2 steps forward and 4 steps back. We can't continue to stay in grasp with what we need to do. We have relapses a little bit, and one of that relapses at Belmont Ave was dribbling too much. The ball wasn't moving freely between the 5 players. And so I just think our youth is just kind of rearing its ugly head. But I do think that the more we can play with this group and we identify our identity, I think we can grow into a pretty good team.
Speaking with Carson-Newman coach Mike Mincy as we get set for tip-off, Lady Eagles and Rail Splitters here in Harrogate. When you look at the roster of this LMU team, it's super interesting because Jordan Maney has hurt you in the past. She's averaging 5 a game this year. Lauren Flowers hurt you in the past. She has scored 0 points in 3 of her last 5. Alexis Smitty is leading the team outside of Shakita Joyner in scoring. What is it about how they play that it has been a variety of players that can hurt you?
Well, I think ultimately they want to get to Joyner. She takes, I think her and Smitty take about half of their shot attempts. The ball is going to go through those 2 for sure, and that's who they're going to try to lean on a lot. Maney had that one big game up here against us a few years ago where she had 29, but, she's coming off of an ACL injury, and I just don't think she's necessarily found her offensive footing, so to speak. Flowers is a really good player. I just think she's been a little bit up and down. Rios doesn't really want to shoot all that much. He's more of a distributor, and so it's interesting. They do a good job pressuring you, trying to turn you over, doing a good job on the defensive end, not letting people score a ton of points, and they're old. That's one of the things that we look at across the board in some of these programs, that they've been able to go to the transfer portal and bring in college-ready players, and we're doing much more teaching in terms of how you got to play at the collegiate level to be successful.
When you look at this LMU team, they almost live and die by the 3, but they don't shoot that efficiently from that area. They're 240th in the country in efficiency, but they take the 11th most 3-pointers this season. How do you handle that from a defensive perspective?
Well, that's not our main concern. If they want to shoot a ton and not make a ton, that would be one thing. Now, granted, against Carson-Newman, when you have rivalry games, it never fails. Like, they bring their best effort. It's different than an effort they might take somewhere else, or if you have like a non-rival coming in here. But our main focus is on Joyner and her trying to go to work in the paint, even though she's 5'9". Well, we don't have a 6'2" player down there. We're going to start Keely Rogers on her as a freshman, but I think Keely's physical enough to try to limit her as best she can. If they do chuck a bunch of threes and they make them, that's one thing, but I think we got to take away the easy stuff, which is Joyner in the paint. They may try to post up Maney some. I'm not real sure, but don't want to let Smitty go off, clearly. She had a great game against Limestone, scoring about 38 points, but it's back on Joyner and not letting Smitty go off. And then you don't want Flowers to come out of nowhere and be able to drive everywhere on you and get easy stuff.
Coach, appreciate the time. Best of luck today.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Carson-Newman coach Mike Mincy. When we come back, we'll have the starters and the play-by-play. Lady Eagles and Rail Splitters coming up next here in Harrogate on the AC Countdown to Tip-Off on the Eagle Sports Network.
Building a new home? AEC can help. Build an all-electric home with an electric heat pump, an electric water heater, an electric range, and an electric washer and dryer. AEC's certified energy inspector will provide expert advice during construction and a complete home inspection upon finish. Before the drywall is in place, call AEC at 865-719-8322. AEC. We're power with purpose.
When you're sick and tired of fast food and need a fresh home-cooked meal, turn to Lisa's Country Kitchen. Lisa's been cooking up her fresh, never-frozen food for the Lakeway area for more than 15 years. Lisa's cares about her customers. You may enter a stranger, but you'll leave a friend. From foot-long hot dogs to juicy steaks, Lisa's has the best food for the best prices.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
We're getting closer to tip-off.
Price picks it up, and Carson-Newman is the South Atlantic Conference Tournament champions.
More CN memories are headed your way on the Eagles Sports Network.
Serving East Tennessee for 40 years, Magaha Electric is the perfect choice for all your electrical projects. Magaha Electric specializes in commercial, retail, manufacturing, residential, and industrial contracting needs. Magaha Electric can provide superior service, technical know-how, and realistic budgeting for any size project in a timely, cost-effective manner. Visit MagahaElectric.com for all your electrical contracting needs. Magaha Electric, your East Tennessee electrical contracting source.
The number one source for Carson-Newman athletics gear is shopcneagles.com, where you can find gear from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour. Shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, shorts, pants, hats, and scarves. Shopcneagles.com is your source for everything CN. You can even show your school spirit on your smartphone or tablet. All of your game day essentials can be found in one place. Shopcneagles.com.
We welcome you back to Harrogate, Tennessee, and Tex Turner Arena as we get set for tip-off. Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial squaring off for the 92nd all-time meeting. Carson-Newman has the edge overall all-time. Lady Eagles have won 55. Lincoln Memorial has won 36. These two teams have seen Carson-Newman come out with a victory in 5 of the last 7 matchups. Just about ready for tip-off here on the AC Countdown to Tip-Off. AEC is your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Service you can trust. Value you can depend on. Powering Mossy Creek, we're AEC, member-owned and service-driven. Time to take a look at the starting lineups for these two clubs. And we begin with a look at the Lincoln Memorial Rail Splitters, winners of 3 in a row this season. Giovanni Rios, a senior from Orlando, Florida, is joined by Lauren Flowers, a former honorable mention all-conference pick, and Jordan Maney, a preseason third-team all-league pick. But the team's leading scorer is a Coker transfer, Sakita Joyner, at 19 points per game. And the second leading scorer is a Trevecca Nazarene transfer, Alexa Smitty. Devin Carter is the coach, his 8th overall and 3rd here at Lincoln Memorial. While Carson-Newman will trot out a new starting lineup this season. It'll be Harley Smith with Braylon Weichel, Campbell Penland, and Skylar Boshears. Rounding out the starting 5 with her first career start is the freshman from Farragut High School in Knoxville, Keely Rogers, getting her first career start, and it's a well-earned start as well for Keely. She has led the team in helpers, and she has done just a terrific job here of late distributing the basketball to her teammates. So we're just about ready to lock and load here on this Saturday afternoon with Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial getting set for tip-off. Carson-Newman overall in this facility, 20-20. They've lost 7 of the 11 trips that they've taken here under Coach Mike Mincy. We're just about ready for tip-off here. When we come back, we'll light this candle. Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial coming up for the 92nd time, and it comes your way when we return on the AEC Countdown to Tip-Off on the Eagle Sports Network.
Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
Okay, let's see. Carson-Newman University. It's been around since 1851. A beautiful campus, amazing student life, world-class accredited academics, competitive athletic programs, a Christian perspective, a top 10 best value school. They give $48 million in financial aid every year, and I get a free scholarship when I enroll. Looks like I've found the perfect place.
This
kisses it off the glass and one
is Carson-Newman women's basketball on the Eagle Sports Network.
Smiles across the board, makes some room in the trophy case for the third time in program history. Carson-Newman is the South Atlantic Conference Tournament champions.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Appalachian Electric Cooperative, Domino's, Aramark, by ShopCNEagles.com, the Eagle Club, the Bible Insurance Agency, by Pepsi, by Magaha Electric, Inner Digital, by Food City, Trilite, Quality Suites of Morristown, and by Lisa's Country Kitchen. Now back to the voice of the Lady Eagles, Michael Watray.
We welcome you back courtside here in Harrogate as we're just about ready to light this candle as Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial square off for the 92nd all-time meeting. Carson-Newman has been significantly better against conference foes this season than they have against the non-conference, averaging 78 points per game against the league. And during a 3-game winning streak, foes averaging just 56 points per game. Time to take a look at the uniforms for these two clubs. Brought to you by Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles. Get a large one-topping pizza for $5.99 with your CNID. That's Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles. Lady Eagles have the Road Navies out. Carson written on top of the number and the Newman written below that in white with orange trim. Numbers on the front and the back written in orange with white trim. LMU on the other side will have the all-white uniforms with the gray collars on top of that. LMU written across the chest. Numbers on the front and the back written in the dark blue with gray outline here as they go through the introduction of Lincoln Memorial with a pregame video here in this facility. It's a pretty decent crowd here. Should fill up in a primetime matchup coming as Carson-Newman men's basketball will take on a top 10 ranked Lincoln Memorial side in the men's game coming up. That's always a must-see event, and certainly this matchup has been a must-see event. There have been some times where there have been some ebbs and flows in the overall series, and certainly Carson-Newman is trying to knock off this LMU side for the 6th time in the last 8 years, and you can never lock that in regardless of how either team is playing. Once again, the starters, it's Smith, Weichel, Penland, Boshears, and Keeley Rogers for Carson-Newman. That's the 5th different starting 5 for Mike Mincy's group this season, while LMU trots out Rios, Smitty, Joyner, Maney, and Flowers here today. Great to have you with us. Skip Roberts is our producer today, back inside of our 106.3 network studios on Mountain Talk. I'm Michael Watring, sitting courtside. Delighted to have you with us on the first weekend here in 2023. Lady Eagles will get this one, then they'll head back home, Tusculum, on Wednesday. So back-to-back matchups against the in-state rivals here this week. And after falling to Belmont Abbey last Tuesday, the Lady Eagles have an opportunity to try to right the ship here today against an LMU side that has rattled off 3 straight wins and is playing significantly better here of late. They're wrapping up the introductions. Carson-Newman has a pretty good crowd here today. A few dozen or so lined up behind the bench. And we're ready to lock and load here. Carson-Newman's bench is entirely made up of rookies. That is all Mike Mincy has to offer here today, with the injury to Lindsay Taylor and the injury as well to Michaela Alvey. Yet again, those two held out. So he starts a freshman and has nothing but freshmen on the bench as well, with the 6 players available on the bench and 11 total players. Officials check their sights. Boshiers is in the circle with Joyner, the Coker transfer. And the second leading scorer in the league loses the opening tap as Boshiers swipes it back for Smith. And it's Carson-Newman ball coming right to left against man-to-man defense to begin the day. Weichel dribbles to left wing, hands it off Boshiers. Now to Weichel left wing. She's had some good games against the Splitters. Rogers gets a touch, throws backdoor cut. Good move by Boshiers, and that's what Rogers does best. 3 assists per game this year. She finds Boshiers. She puts in the layup on the right block, and Carson-Newman has the first bucket of the day. We played 25 seconds, and now LMU goes against Carson-Newman's man-to-man defense. Splitters love the three-pointer, 28 attempted per game this year. Maney, top of the key. She had 29 against Carson-Newman 2 years ago. Joyner on the right baseline. Dribbles right against Rogers, gets to the block, puts a shot up, and off the window and down. You wonder if Mike Mincy will go to a Ruthie Mbugwa early against Joyner, who now heads the full court pressure against Rogers. Weichel just barely toe taps, but then steps on the midcourt stripe with her left foot. And it is a turnover for Carson-Newman, and it goes to LMU. 2 apiece, 54 seconds elapsed here inside of Tex Turner Arena. To the front court goes Zakiya Moss. Moss dribbles to her right-hand side, stops there, throws it to Maney, lobs it underneath. Joyner has a pass tapped by Rogers over to Penland. Carson-Newman the steal. Penland sprints front court to the right wing. Tied at 2, a minute gone by. Sprints around the baseline, stops underneath the bucket, misses the reverse layup, threw it over her shoulder. Was in an awkward spot on the floor, but missed the layup. 2 apiece, 8:40 to go in the first. Rios in the front court. Stops at the free throw line, throws it to Joyner. Joyner kicks it to the right wing. Smitty dribbles around a screen, then throws it. Rios, a rare chuck from 3. It's too strong. Rios, 22% from three-point range. Weichel the rebound, throws it forward for Penland, tosses underneath for a cutting Smith. Harley inside of the lane, going up and under against Maney. Misses a right-hand layup, and the rebound collected by Joyner. LMU ball tied at 2, looking for its first lead of the day. Smitty in the far left corner, throws it out Maney over to Flowers, right wing, sprints down left side of the paint, left-hand running layup off the window and in. Last 4 to LMU. We've played 2 minutes. Splitters lead it 4-2. Carson-Newman back on the basketball. Weichel across the timeline, goes behind the back and trots across midcourt. Weichel dribbles around the screen, throws it over to Smith. Harley looks underneath, now dribbles, spins around in the paint, hanging, floating, layup, falling down, cannot get it to go, rolls around the rim and falls off. 5-on-4 break for LMU. Smith trying to join the picture, and she does so now as Rios gets into the lane, then backpedals out to the right wing. Smitty now on the right wing, and an illegal screen is set on Jordan Maney as he was trying to spring Smitty. Carson-Newman has started just 1 out of 4 from the field. LMU has started 2 out of 3. The Lady Eagles trail it by a 4-2 tally here with 7:32 to go in the first half. Carson-Newman back with the basketball. Weichel to break the pressure. The team's leading scorer has maybe had a few games underneath her standards the last few games. And then they call a foul, and that is certainly one where the whole gym will question. Rios called for a hand check. Weichel had picked up her dribble and had been handing the basketball off. And it didn't even really look like Rios had a hand on her whatsoever, but they do call the foul. So Weichel inbounds the ball to Smith, and here comes Carson-Newman. 7:20 to go in the first. Lady Eagles are trailing 4-2. Nice split to the cup by Smith, and a bounce pass from Weichel right side of the lane. Smith gets to the left side of the cup and flips it in. We're tied at 4. Smith's first bucket of the day. And with 7:13 to go in the first frame, it's Carson-Newman and LMU tied at 4. In the backcourt, Smitty with the basketball will lose it and then pick it up against this full court pressure. Rios tosses it for Maney. It's deflected, and it trickles out of bounds right next to us into the seats. Last touch by Penland. Carson-Newman and LMU are tied at 4. 3 minutes into the game. Shot clock sits at 15 as Rios catches right on the Pete DeBus court logo near right sideline. Gives it to Joyner, back to Rios left wing. She sprints left all the way to the canister and flings in. A right-hand running layup off the window and off the left side of the rim. 6-4, LMU back on top. 6:40 to go in the first. Boshears in the backcourt working against Smitty. Has a second to get it across and does so in time. Boshears slings it on over to Weichel. Now over to Penland. Right wing, catch and shoot 3. Left it short. It's loose in the far right corner. Picked up by Flowers. She splits a double team. Sprints into the front court. Ahead by 2. Flings it back. Smitty, catch and shoot in transition. Well too strong. Weichel's there for the rebound. Carson-Newman now looks to run. Down 2, 6:15 to go in the first. Boshears catches in the left corner from Weichel. And then a right-hand pass out to Rogers. Rogers dribbles all the way to her right. Looks for a backdoor cut. Penland doesn't do so. Catches right wing. Penland around 2 screens at the top of the key. Gives it over to Boshears. Boshears sprints down the right side of the lane. Gets wide open, but misses another layup. Second missed layup by Carson-Newman in the first 4 minutes of the game. Lady Eagles down 6-4. Flowers, catch and shoot, left wing 3. Swirls around and falls out the right-hand side. Boshears the board. 5:45 to go in the first. Carson-Newman down 6-4. Boshears gets to the lane all the way to the right block. This time, no mistakes made as she gets past Smitty and puts in a right-hand layup. Both sides seem pretty gassed right now. Very few stoppages in the opening 4.5 minutes. Tied at 6, 5:30 to go in the first. Smitty breaks the pressure, lobs it underneath. Joyner on the right block uses a ball fake, gets 2 Lady Eagles to fly by, and 6 in the right-hand layup. 8-6, 5:20 to go in the first. LMU on top, back on defense. Carson-Newman ball. Weichel sprinting down the right side of the lane. Runs into a defender, and she's called for a traveling violation. Second Carson-Newman turnover. Lady Eagles had 14 in the second half at Belmont Abbey on Tuesday. Tori Rutherford and Callie McMahon are into the game. And it is Harley Smith and Campbell Penland getting the first breaks of the day for Carson-Newman. 8-6, Splitters on top. 5:13 to go in the first. Smitty in the backcourt. Hesitating as she dribbles right, stops in the middle of the floor, lobs to Rios, far left side in the backcourt. 1 dribble across the timeline, and LMU sets up its offense. Ahead by 2, largest differential of the day for either side. Joyner underneath the bucket, gets double teamed. Rutherford comes in, swipes it out of her hands, falls to her knees, picks it up, and hands it to Weichel. Weichel dribbles to the left wing. Rogers now top of the key, back Weichel. Mismatch underneath for McMahon if they find her. Rogers, a left wing 3. Way too strong. They had McMahon in a mismatch. They didn't find her. Lady Eagles down to 4:38 to go. Left wing, Smitty, a pull-up three-pointer. Rattles out. Rutherford the rebound. Sprints front court for Carson-Newman, right to left. Throws it over to Weichel, right point. Ball fakes, dribbles right, stops right side of the lane for a jump shot. It rattles out. Carson-Newman has started 3 out of 10 from the field. 8-6, 4:20 to go in the first. Carson-Newman has gone cold. LMU has made 50% of its shots from the floor. Smitty, top of the key. Flings back Rios, right wing. Rios looks underneath, instead gives Smitty. Smitty dribbles to her right, tosses it back out. Joyner, top of the key, 3-pointer, is down the hatch. Joyner, 4 out of 20 from 3-point range this season, drains it, and that gives LMU its largest lead of the day at 5. 3:50 to go in the first. Carson-Newman needing some offense here. 3 of 10 shooting. Everything has been a grind so far. Rogers sprinting all the way to the left wing, handing it off Rutherford. She dribbles to the right block, puts up a running layup, doesn't put it in, but does draw the foul, and finally brings us to a pause in play. LMU leads by 5. Splitters are shooting 56% from the field right now. Can Carson-Newman right the ship? We find out together when we come back with Carson-Newman down 11-6 here in the first quarter on the Eagle Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Insurance, it's about people, not things. It's about security. It's about confidence. It's about relationships. It's about trust. It's about you. As a local independent agent, Bible Insurance Agency can design an insurance program that's just right for you and your family. Give the people you love safe, sound, secure protection from Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency, 423-586-4320, or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown.
Carson-Newman hasn't scored in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Lady Eagles 3 out of 10 from the floor. LMU conversely 5 out of 9 and have an early 5-point lead. And Tori Rutherford's going to the free throw line here out of the timeout. 68% foul shooter on the year. After 7 games last year, starting to round it back into that form that she had at the beginning of last season. And she gets 2 foul shots with Carson-Newman down 5. First free throw up there, and that one spins out. 3:40 to go in the first. Boshears has 4. Smith has 2. Nobody else has scored for Carson-Newman. Rutherford trying to end that 2-minute scoring drought with Carson-Newman down by 5. And Rutherford sinks the second, so that stops the scoring drought and cuts the margin to 4. 11-7, 3:38 to play in the first. Smitty lobs it across the timeline to no man's land. Bodies collide. Maney's on the ground, and a traveling violation is whistled on Konta. Khadijah Konta, the grad student from Adams State, into the game for the first time, and a traveling violation. Carson-Newman trails by 4, 11-7. It is Smith out there with Rutherford, Gonzalez, Weichel, and McMahon. Smith throws it to Gonzalez near right sideline, and it goes right out of her hands, out of bounds. Well, Carson-Newman's third turnover, and plays just like that were the issues against Belmont Abbey. No pressure from the defense, and it just goes right out of your hands. Flowers gives it back to Smitty, and LMU ignites its offense. They have made all 4 of their shots inside of the arc. 1 out of 5 from deep. Flowers kicks it to the right corner. Konta, 3-pointer, too strong here. Rutherford soars in for another board on the left block. Tosses it forward, Weichel. Weichel gets a running start to the block, hangs, floats on the left block, and drops it in with the right paw. First points of the game for Carson-Newman's leading scorer. The margin is cut in half. Now 11-9. 3 minutes to go, first quarter. Flowers across the timeline, gives it to Smitty. Remember last year, Carson-Newman was in a nip-and-tuck game. They trailed after 3 quarters, scored the final 6 points of the game to win in this gym by 7. Maney, top of the key, flings it over Flowers' left wing. Tosses it back to Joyner, and a body-bumping foul on Harley Smith as Maney was trying to catch the ball in the block. Maney coming off of a knee injury, averaging just 6 points per game this year. She's missed the first 25 3-pointers that she's attempted this year, but made 3 of her last 5. Inbound goes to Joyner, left baseline. She jabs right, dribbles left, falls over Smith, and then they call a foul against Harley Smith, who's laying on the ground. And Mike Mincy has a quizzical look on his face. Joyner dribbled baseline. Smith fell down. Joyner put up the layup, missed it, and then fell to the ground. And they're calling foul shots. That is a interesting call by the officiating crew that Mike Mincy is unhappy about. And he continues to have that conversation. Instead, Joyner at the line, 58% free throw shooter, and she misses the first. Joyner, 4 years at Coker, 800-plus points, nearly 500 rebounds with the Cobras, and now happy to be in Harrogate. Free throw is up there, and that one is it. 1 out of 2 from Joyner, and it's 12-9. Carson-Newman behind by 3, 2:40 to go in the first. Smith breaks the pressure into the front court. Ball is loose, and it's last touched by Harley Smith as she slides to the ground and takes out 2 splitters in the process. And Smith will probably come out of the game with Rogers coming in. Well, Joyner, I thought, might have taken the harder of the contact, but Flowers is still down as well. And she got rolled up on, and she is still down on the ground and needing some medical attention here. 12-9, LMU on top. They have been great from the floor, 5 out of 10 shooting so far. 4 out of 11 is Carson-Newman from the floor, 36%. Eagle fans, Lisa's Country Kitchen serves the best home-cooked meals the Lakeway region can offer. Lisa's Country Kitchen is the official restaurant of the Carson-Newman Eagles. 2 years ago, Flowers was a honorable mention all-conference selections in that game against Carson-Newman that year in the conference quarterfinals, in which LMU upended the regular season champions, the first time in league history that had happened. Flowers had 14 points and 8 rebounds in that game. So she's certainly a key cog to this LMU puzzle, and it appears as if she might have cut herself just above her left eye And they are currently working on that and ensuring that the floor is clean as well. And you certainly hope that she's all right and can get back out there. A senior from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and has been just a dynamic player for Devin Carter in her time. And now she is being helped up to a seated position as the training staff here, 3 of them, are all working on her to get not only the floor cleaned up, but the area right above the left eye cleaned up as well. She's smiling, so that's certainly a good sign for her as she gets knocked around there. It certainly looked like maybe initially that it was a leg situation, but the eye is bleeding, and she is now walking off the floor with a little bit of help from the trainers just to guide her as she can't see out of that left eye for at least the moment, covering it with her hand, and the training staff is cleaning up the floor of any excess blood. She's sitting on the training table outside of the locker room right now, so they will take care of her and certainly hope that she's able to go the rest of this one. 29 minutes per game. Important piece for LMU. Rios is back on the floor to replace her in the lineup. And with Carson-Newman trailing it 12-9, the Lady Eagles have turned it over 4 times already. LMU has not scored off of those giveaways yet. That was certainly a big piece of the puzzle for Belmont Abbey on Tuesday as the Crusaders tossed in 30 points off of Carson-Newman's turnovers in that game. So we're back to action. Flowers good to go on the sideline, getting looked at with the blood over her left eye, and we're ready to roll again. It is Rios breaking the pressure on the left wing to set up the offense for LMU. Rios works around the screen, gives it to Joyner, top of the key. Right wing, Conta, back to Maney in the right corner. Underneath it goes Joyner. She draws a double team, throws it out. Maney, right wing three-pointer, rattles out, and the rebound falls to Rogers' hands on the right block. Lady Eagles down 3. 2 minutes to go in the first. Boshears right baseline, jabbing, dribbling, lobbing, looking for Rogers, and it's a backcourt violation. 5th turnover, and the entire coaching staff for Carson-Newman looking up at the sky, asking questions. A very youthful unit. 7 of the 11 Carson-Newman players are rookies. And Carson-Newman is down by 3. 12-9. Well, that's the only thing that you can say positively for Carson-Newman is LMU hasn't extended this margin beyond Carson-Newman's control. And here's a foul on Skylar Boshears, knocking out Maney on a screen attempt. 3rd team foul, first on Boshears. LMU's led by as many as 5. Carson-Newman by as many as 2. We've seen a lead change in 3 ties. And with Carson-Newman down 3 and 1:52 to play in the first, inbound on the baseline. Comes to Joyner, right baseline. She dribbles to the lane, spins back to baseline for a right-hand shot that smooches the window and goes down. Joyner with 10. That was Carson-Newman's biggest worry, and Joyner has 10. She had 12 against Carson-Newman last season at Coker. And how about Rogers gliding coast to coast to the left block for a layup, putting it in, +1. And a nice move there by Keely Rogers, drawing the foul on Joyner. And Keely will have an opportunity at the free throw line to add to it. Strong take in her first career start, and the free throw is up there, and that's wide right. Carson-Newman 1 out of 3 at the line, and the margin continues to be 3. 93 seconds to play in the first. Carson-Newman trails 14-11. Smitty works it across the timeline. The team's second leading scorer has not scored. She tosses it back out. Joyner, top of the key, three-pointer up there. It is short. Rebound deflects off of Joyner, off of Rogers, and Smitty is there to grab the offensive board. She works around a screen, sprints to the right side of the lane, puts up a layup, and it rolls off. A tad strong, overshot the middle of the glass, and it flung off the left side of the rim and then off the right. Rebound Penland. Carson-Newman down 3. A chance to tie with a trifecta here. Gonzalez right wing. Dribbles to the block, runs into a player, tosses up a teardrop, rolls around the rim, hangs left side before going in. Carson-Newman back down by 1. 50 seconds to play in the opening quarter. 14-13. LMU leads. Carson-Newman has all of a sudden made 3 straight. Rios dribbles to the right point. Gives it to Maney, top of the key. Now at the free throw line, it's Joyner. Dribbling left, runs into a little bit of obstruction. Tosses out Rios to Maney, top of the key for a 3 that goes down the barrel. Carson-Newman's deficit back to 4. 17-13 as Maney drains the triple. Gonzalez in the backcourt. She gets trapped. Maney rips it out of her hands and puts in a layup after 1 dribble on the left block. Carson-Newman trails by 6. McMahon cherry picking at the other end. We'll get a layup on the right block as Smith found her. Or check that, as Penland found her. 6 and 5. Smitty at midcourt. 3 and 2. Smitty at the top of the key for 3. Too strong. And that's how the opening quarter comes to a close. So LMU able to take a little bit of advantage of some miscues by Carson-Newman. But Carson-Newman does make its final 4 shots of the period. They do turn it over 6 times, leads to 4 points for LMU. And Carson-Newman sees that be the difference right now. 19-15 after 10 minutes. Can Carson-Newman take better control of the basketball? We'll find out when we come back. 19-15, LMU on top here on the Eagle Sports Network.
From unwanted electrical surges like lightning, AEC can install a surge protection device at your electric meter. The device works by diverting excess voltage either back into the system or to the ground. AEC also offers power strips for use inside your home to protect electronics and other items. The cost of this protective service from AEC is $9.95 per month. Ordering today affords you no connection fee. AEC. We're power with purpose.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with their $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Well, Carson-Newman does finish the opening quarter shooting 50% from the field, 7 out of 14. Problem, though, 6 turnovers. And that has led to 4 points off of those giveaways by LMU. Carson-Newman trails at 19-15. Second quarter here, ready to roll as Smitty will inbound the basketball on this near right sideline at midcourt. Carson-Newman has Weichel, Rutherford, Penland, Rogers, Boshiers on the floor. Maney left wing. She hit 7 in the opening period. Smitty, top of the key, is still yet to score in this game. Right wing, Conta underneath, Joyner. Back out, Conta, swinging it around. Rios, left wing, 1 dribble inside of the arc. Jump shot, flat, left it short. Weichel there, grabbing her 3rd rebound of the day. Braylon dribbles into the front court, fires it to Rutherford, right wing. Now a bounce pass to Penland. Good ball fake, hesitating, getting to the right side of the lane, running into a defender, and an offensive foul is whistled. And Mike Mincy, again, very frustrated with a call as they call the charge against Campbell Penland. We get another look at it. That certainly looks like that should have been a blocking foul based on the second look from our vantage point. Mike Mincy thinks the same. Frustration for the Lady Eagles. We've played a half minute in the second quarter, and Carson-Newman's down 19-15. Against the pressure, LMU breaks it. They've only turned it over 4 times against that full-court press. Smitty dribbling along the baseline, and they call a foul on Carson-Newman. This one is on Rutherford. Well, it's the same official that continues to blow his whistle, and Mike Mincy is standing right next to him and is having plenty of conversations with him. His frustration certainly setting in. Smitty lobs Maney, top of the key. Underneath it goes Joyner. Joyner dribbles to her left, spins back to her right, hanging, floating, right-hand shot, too strong. Off the glass, off the back iron. Penland the board. Carson-Newman sprints front court. Campbell looks to her left and throws it to Boshiers on her right. Carson-Newman down 4, a minute gone by in the second frame. Penland in the right corner, ball faking, dribbling left, coming back to her right against Maney. Shot clock with plenty of time on it as it winds to 12 and 11. Weichel at the top of the key, dribbles left, crosses back over to her right, bounces at Penland, and a traveling violation is called. 8th turnover of the day for Carson-Newman. 19-15. Carson-Newman trails by 4, and Mike Mincy elects to call for time, and that gives him a chance to reset. Lady Eagles down by 4, 19-15, 8:45 to go in the second. Carson-Newman tries to right the ship when we come back to Tex Turner Arena in Harrogate, Tennessee on the Eagle Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
Carson-Newman has turned the basketball over 8 times in the game, not protecting the pumpkin right now, and the Lady Eagles down by 4, 19-15, 8:45 to go in the second. The deficit has been as many as 6. Rios across the timeline, lobbing it for Maney. Tosses it to Smitty left side. Back to Rios, and here comes LMU's offense. They started off hot, have cooled off since. Smitty, top of the key, underneath Joyner. Met by 2 defenders, kick out, Conta, and a 3-second violation. Well, Carson-Newman will attack Joyner at all costs. Joyner, solid game against Carson-Newman last year, 12 points, 25 minutes with Coker. Never really had one of those monster games. She had 10 points in the first 10 minutes. Penland to inbound the ball. Campbell fires it over to Rutherford, and Carson-Newman will be able to try to break this pressure here. Boshears in the backcourt, not a lot of time to get it across. Now loses it, 1 second, and that will be a 10-second violation. 9th turnover of the day for Carson-Newman. And it looks like perhaps Rios diving for that basketball might have injured her elbow. And she's coming off of the floor, and now the question becomes who comes in there for LMU, and the answer is Sydney Reed. Has played 13 minutes all season long, a grad transfer from West Liberty. 19-15. LMU, if they lose this game, will be frustrated by these several minutes not being able to pull away from Carson-Newman, despite the Lady Eagles' inability to take shots. They've turned it over on 4 straight possessions. Smitty, top of the key. Lobs to the right elbow, Maney. She squares up with 8:05 to play in the first half. Carson-Newman down 19-15. Smitty, right wing, dribbles right baseline. Gets shut down by Boshears. Back out, Maney. A right wing three-pointer is right down the barrel again. She missed the first 25 threes of the season. She's now made 5 of her last 7. Carson-Newman down by a game-high 7. 22-15. Rogers a catch-and-shoot 3 from the left wing. Doesn't get a friendly roll, but a foul is whistled on LMU as Rutherford was going for the rebound. It is Reed, the guilty party, and that's rescues a possession for Carson-Newman. 22-15. 7:40 to go first half. Carson-Newman, its first miss in its last 5 shots. Boshears will fire it in on the baseline for Carson-Newman. And give it over to Penland, right wing, catching, shooting a 3. That's too strong. Weichel on the left block for an offensive rebound. Braylon squares up, gets to the left block, gets shut down, throws to Penland, cutting down the right side of the lane, puts a shot off the window, and in, and 1 for Campbell Penland. That is her first points of the day. And with 7.5 to go in the first half, Carson-Newman continues to attack the cup. Free throw coming up here for Campbell Penland. This has been where she's been strongest this season, and she's had a terrific year overall. The 94% foul shooter gets a friendly roll on the foul shot. Front iron, backboard, and down. 4-point game once more, 22-18. 7.5 to play in the first half. There will be no more immediate timeouts as Mike Mincy burned that just over a minute into the second quarter. So Lady Eagles will go an extended period here. This is something that they have been accustomed to and have taken massive advantage of. Smitty to the left side of the lane, stopping, hesitating, looking, finding Maney, top of the key. Maney dribbles, has it juggled, tip. Rutherford pokes it forward into the front court. She takes 2 dribbles to the right block and puts it in. Rutherford with a layup. She has 3, and the margin is down to 2. 22-25 unanswered for the Lady Eagles with 6:54 to go in the first half. Smitty will set up the offense for LMU. Carson-Newman down by just 2. Reed to the top of the key goes Chloe Savage. Right wing, Conta stops, throws it out. Savage dribbles to her left, tosses it left wing. Smitty steps into a 3, too strong, off the rim, off the backboard. Boshears the board. Carson-Newman a chance to tie or take the lead. And now a whistle as Carson-Newman was in transition. And it's a timing scenario, and Mike Mincy again frustrated. That takes the advantage away from Carson-Newman. On the fast break, and now the Lady Eagles will have to settle into a half-court set. 6.5 to play in the first half. They take 2 seconds off the shot clock. Inbound comes Rogers. To the left point, Boshiers spins it. Right point, Penland to three. Missed it short. Weichel an offensive rebound. Braylon dribbles all the way to the right block. Hangs, floats, missed the layup. Might have been partially blocked by Rios underneath. 6:15 to go in the first half. Carson-Newman down by 2. Right wing, Smitty. Started 0-5 from the field. Left wing for Konta. Back to the right wing, Smitty. Maney, Konta. Around the perimeter of the ball swings. 10 on the shot clock. Smitty right point. Steps into a three-pointer. Too strong off the front of the rim. And Maney will be called for her second personal foul. So Jordan Maney commits her second as she was on the backside of Rutherford. And with Carson-Newman down by 2, 22-20, and 5:53 to go in the first half, the Lady Eagles another opportunity to tie or take the lead as LMU has not scored in the last 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Maney hit that three at the 7:58 mark. They have not scored since. Carson-Newman has scored 5 in a row. And a chance once again to tie or take the lead. Maney gets a spot on the bench. Joyner is back out there. Weichel has it in the backcourt. Carson-Newman with 5:50 to go first half, down 22-20 to LMU, a place where they've lost 7 of the 11 times under Mike Mincy. Penland juggles the basketball, picks up her dribble left wing, bounces it Rutherford at the top of the key. 15 and 14 to shoot as she dribbles to the right side of the lane. Gives it to Weichel, right wing. She sprints to the right elbow, dumps it underneath for Smith. Catches it on her left hip pocket, dribbles to the lane, kicks it out. Penland, top of the key, three's on the way. It's too strong, and another foul is whistled with Rutherford going for the offensive rebound. Konta is called for the foul. And now the ire draws on the officiating crew by the LMU crowd. Carson-Newman down 2. Inbound on the baseline from Rutherford. Comes Weichel, left wing, 15-foot jump shot is down the hatch. 7 unanswered for Carson-Newman. And we are tied. 22 apiece, 5:15 to go in the first half. Good answer by the Lady Eagles. LMU has not scored in winding close to 3 minutes of play. Rios dribbling around a screen to her right, finds Savage, tosses it underneath Joyner, gets double teamed, puts a shot off the window and in, and one. So that stops a 2 minute and 57 second scoring drought and a 7-0 Carson-Newman run. Well, Joyner got the ball. The double team came late. Weichel came over, tried to get her hands in there rather than get all the way over to try to draw a charge. And that sends Joyner back to the free throw line, having a terrific game so far. A game high 12 points. Maney has 8. Nobody for Carson-Newman has more than 4. All 8 players have scored. Joyner's free throw up. That's wide left, and the rebound picked up by Penland. And once again, Carson-Newman down 2 has the ball. 24-22 midway through the second quarter. Penland tosses it to Rutherford, left point. Left wing it goes Boshiers. Boshiers looks underneath the basket, throws it cross court. Penland sprints right, pulls up from 12 feet for a jump shot right side of the lane. It rattles off the rim on the right side and rebounded by Savage. Chloe Savage averages 2 boards per game this year. Plays 13 minutes tonight. And LMU ahead by 2, 24-22, 4.5 to play. It's back into Joyner. Kicks it to Konta, left corner. Konta dribbles along the baseline, and a foul is whistled on Tori Rutherford. She didn't get all the way over there in time. And it's a second personal foul on Rutherford. 4:26 to play in the first half. Carson-Newman trails at 24-22. LMU has spent the majority of the time in the lead. Carson-Newman led it 2-0 after the opening bucket. Other than that, Carson-Newman has not led here today. Lob underneath for Savage. Left-hand shot, wide left, as Joyner found her from the top of the key off the inbound. Carson-Newman sprinting front court. Boshier, spin cycle, in lane, right hand, falling away shot, too strong. Joyner there to grab her 3rd rebound of the day. LMU leads it, 24-22. 4:07 to play in the first half. Carson-Newman down by a deuce on defense and man-to-man. Joyner on the left elbow. Dribbles, hands it off. Smitty, ball fakes. Looked like she might have drugged the foot. Instead, it is Joyner that is called for the traveling violation as she grabbed the ball at the top of the key and took too many steps. 3:58 to play in the first half. Carson-Newman down to 24-22. Carson-Newman has Ashlyn Crittenden on the floor for the first time with Gonzalez, Weichel, McMahon, and Boshiers. That's 3 freshmen and 2 juniors for Carson-Newman. Crittenden bounces it in for Weichel. Weichel will dribble left across the timeline. A double team is coming. She splits it, feeds McMahon, who picks up the basketball at the top of the key. Gonzalez dribbling right, throws it to Crittenden right wing. Crittenden around a screen, will not shoot it all that much. He's been efficient in very little action. Gonzalez left baseline. Gets shut down by help side defense. Stops on the left elbow. 6 on the shot clock. McMahon on left wing. Backdoor pass. Crittenden dribbles along the baseline and steps out of bounds. And a turnover for Carson-Newman. Well, the Lady Eagles have given it away 10 times, and that continues to be a thorn in the Lady Eagles' side this season. 24-22. Carson-Newman down 2. 3:27 to go in the first half. After Carson-Newman was able to peel back to a tie game at 22 apiece, they haven't scored in the last 90 seconds. LMU has scored just once in that stretch. That was a Joyner layup. Smitty between the rings. Backpedals to set up the offense. Dribbles right, throws it to Conta. To the right corner, Rios. Back to Conta. 7 on the shot clock. Smitty, 6 and 5, again called for a travel, and she throws it hard off the backboard in frustration. 3:01 to play in the first half. Carson-Newman down 2, 24-22. And for the first time today, we take a look at Ruthie Mbugwa. She replaces McMahon. Crittenden is out as well. Rogers is in. Where does Carson-Newman go to get some more consistent offense? Weichel has just 4 for Carson-Newman. She averages 18.6 for her career. Second best among active players in the country. Weichel, top of the key, pulls up, and then is called for a travel. Well, she tried to get around the Mbugwa screen, and as she was putting up for a jump shot, Smitty came over her backside. Weichel regretted it, and she's called for a violation. And Carson-Newman, another giveaway. Down by 2, 2:47 to play first half. Rios across the timeline for the Splitters against Gonzalez's man-to-man pressure. Rios will dribble all the way to the left wing to set it up. Joyner catches at the high post, hands it right back. Rios works around the screen. Tosses it to the left corner. Smitty a three-pointer. Short iron, no good. Alexis Smitty, 0 of 7 from the floor, 6 of those from deep. Boshiers to the front court, backing down on the right block. Runs into defense, misses the first attempt. Has it poked out of her hand. She falls to the ground. Smitty picks it up. More turnovers for Carson-Newman. Smitty kicks it. Rios, left wing. Left open for a 3, misses it. Rebound poked over. Who's going to get it? Bodies on the deck. Only 1 for Carson-Newman. And here comes Smitty stepping into a 3 at the top of the key, and she splashes it. Smitty 0 out of 7 from deep before that as she connects. And it's a 5-point game, 27-22 with 1:55 to play first half. Weichel on the right wing. Gives it to Rogers. Rogers sprints to the middle of the lane, puts up a teardrop, and swirls it in. Keely Rogers with a bucket. She's got 4. Carson-Newman down 3. How do they close out the final 100 seconds? 27-24, 1:38 to play first half. Rios across the timeline. Boy, Carson-Newman could really use a good close. They're out shooting LMU by a percentage point, but the 11 turnovers have been a major issue. Joyner, right elbow, backing down, throwing it, deflected around by Weichel. It's still loose. It falls through Joyner's hands, picked up by Boshiers. Boshiers front court. Left side of the lane for a jump shot. That one spins off the right side of the rim. And with 70 seconds to go in the first half, Carson-Newman down 3. 27-24. Carson-Newman has led 1 time today. That was at 2-0. Under a minute to play here. Rios between the rings. Sets up the offense. Savage comes out to set the screen to her left. Give it back to Savage. Dumps it for Joyner. It's poked out of her hands and will trickle out of bounds along this sideline with 7 seconds on the shot clock and 47.8 to go in the first half. 27-24. LMU on top. They've led for the majority of this one, and by as many as 7. Savage with 5 and 4. Gives it to Conta. Conta inside of the arc. Pulls up for a jump shot. Missed it short. Gonzalez the rebound. Carson-Newman looks to run. 40 seconds to play in the first half. Down 27-24. Gonzalez down the right side of the paint. A backdoor pass. Boshiers reverse layup. Gets a friendly roll. Nearly undershot it. It hit the rim first, but had enough momentum to carry over and go in. 27-26. Shot clock is off. 23 seconds to go in the first half. Rios has the ball. LMU sets up the offense. 15-14. Carson-Newman down 1. 27-26. Rios between the rings. 10 and now 9. Lob to Joyner. Joyner dribbles right, 6 and 5. Smitty around a screen. Pulls up at the free throw line for a jump shot. It's too strong. Rogers grabs the board. 3/4 court last second heave is well short. And that is how the opening half comes to an end. Well, LMU had some chances to pull away from Carson-Newman. Lady Eagles use a 7-0 run after a 7-point deficit. And Carson-Newman is down one. 27-26 here at halftime in Harrogate as Carson-Newman looks to get back in the win column after a loss to Belmont Abbey on Tuesday. At halftime, 27-26, Lincoln Memorial on top as we step out for a break. ShopSeeingEagles.com halftime report coming your way when we come back on the Eagles Sports Network.
Don't know what to wear on game day? Head over to ShopSeeingEagles.com for all of your Carson-Newman athletics gear. You can find clothing from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour to cover you from head to toe. ShopSeeingEagles.com also has duffel bags, backpacks, jewelry, pet supplies, and gifts. Don't waste any more time. Prove you are the ultimate Carson-Newman fan with the official gear of the Eagles at ShopSeeingEagles.com. Visit today.
At InterDigital, we strive to be a leading provider of cutting-edge digital and marketing solutions. At InterDigital, we want to help our clients find success. Our team of technology gurus work together to ensure InterDigital continues to progress forward as technology advances. At InterDigital, we make technology work for you. Visit InterDigital.com for IT support, web development, virtual tours, graphic design, internet marketing, mobile app, and film production services.
InterDigital, laser-focused on your success.
It's halftime. We'll head back to the arena for the ShopSeeingEagles.com halftime report in just 60 seconds on the Eagles Sports Network.
Serving East Tennessee for 40 years, Magaha Electric is the perfect choice for all your electrical projects. Magaha Electric specializes in commercial, retail, manufacturing, residential, and industrial contracting needs. Magaha Electric can provide superior service, technical know-how, and realistic budgeting for any size project in a timely, cost-effective manner. Visit MagahaElectric.com for all your electrical contracting needs. Magaha Electric, your East Tennessee electrical contracting source.
Protect your home from unwanted electrical surges like lightning. AEC can install a surge protection device at your electric meter. The device works by diverting excess voltage either back into the system or to the ground. AEC also offers power strips for use inside your home to protect electronics and other items. The cost of this protective service from AEC is $9.95 per month. Ordering today affords you no connection fee. AEC. We're power with purpose.
It's halftime. Your first half scoring summary and a check of the ShopCNEagles.com sack scoreboard are headed your way.
Smith, right wing, three-pointers, up, it's in! Potentially a dagger for CN!
Now, back to the voice of the Lady Eagles, Michael Watrang.
Carson-Newman held Lincoln Memorial to a season-low 8 points in the second quarter. That was one of Carson-Newman's best defensive efforts in the second stanza this season. The problem, though, Carson-Newman only scored 11 and scored 26 in the first half. That's the second fewest that Carson-Newman has scored in a half this season. So after 20 minutes of play, it's 27-26 in favor of Lincoln Memorial. And time to take a look at our first half statistics, brought to you by Quality Suites of Morristown. Preferred hotel choice of the Carson-Newman Eagles, located 10 miles from campus. Quality Suites of Morristown is a perfect place to stay when you're traveling to watch the Eagles play. Call 423-585-4000 and ask for the Carson-Newman rate. The discount is only available when you call 423-585-4000. Carson-Newman overall in that opening half, 12 out of 28 from the floor. That's 43%. 0 of 6 from long range. 2 of 4 from the free throw line in the opening 20 minutes. Carson-Newman has made a three-pointer in 322 straight games. Last time it didn't happen was 11-26 of 2011. They ended up winning that game, 54-48 against Delta State. That was one of Mike Mincy's first games at the helm that season. Carson-Newman overall sees a good disparity in terms of distribution. 8 different players scored in that first half. Nobody with more than 6, and Skylar Boshier is leading the way with 6. 4 apiece from Rogers and Weichel. 3 from Rutherford. 2 from Smith. 3 from Penland. 2 from McMahon and 2 from Gonzalez. LMU on the other side, 11 out of 29 from the field, 38%. 4 out of 15 from three-point range, 27%. And 1 out of 3 from the free throw line, 33%. Between Joyner and Maney, they had 20 of the team's 27 first-half points. That duo combined went 8 of 11 from the floor in that first half. The rest of the team, 3 out of 18 in the opening 20 minutes. So something to keep an eye on in half number 2. In that category. The only other players that have scored, Smitty with 3 and 2 apiece from Flowers, who was held to 7 minutes with that head injury, and 2 from Giovanna Rios. LMU leads in points off turnover 7-4 and fast break points 2-0. Carson-Newman leads in the paint 22-14, 5-3 in second chance points, and 7-0 in bench points. LMU led for greater than 17 minutes in the opening 20. And that's why the Splitters lead it 27-26 at halftime. Well, all of these teams are within a game of first place in the South Atlantic Conference. And that's because there's been some shuffling around over the last several days. How's the league shaping out right now on this Saturday afternoon? We'll tell you about that when we come back. Carson-Newman trails Lincoln Memorial 27-26 at halftime here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Tri-Light is proud to support Carson-Newman Athletics. We salute the student athletes who are working hard to make great things happen on the field, in the classroom, and in the world. It takes vision, commitment, and teamwork, qualities we share at Tri-Light. Our mission is to provide life-changing opportunities by building a world-class fiber broadband network. If you'd like to learn more, please visit trilight.net or call us at 833-847-0824.
We select our insurance companies the same way you do, very carefully. When you work with us, you can count on receiving fast, courteous, and professional service and quality protection through Auto Owners Insurance. For a no-problem approach for your life, home, car, and business insurance needs, ask us about the No Problem Company, Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency at 423-586-4320 or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown, serving the Lakeway area's insurance needs since 1931. A check of the ShopCNEagles.com SAC scoreboard is next. This is the Eagle Sports Network. If you're looking for official Eagle merchandise, look no further than the Carson-Newman Bookstore. With a large selection of Carson-Newman gifts and apparel, you're sure to find something to please the entire family. From stuffed eagles to towel sets, sweatshirts, shorts, hats, and slippers, we literally have you covered from head to toe. We have just the item you're looking for no matter what the season. So whether you're an Eagle student, parent, alumni, or fan, shop us for everything orange and blue. Call 865-471-3539 for more information and store hours. We'll see you at the Carson-Newman Bookstore.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City has deals for Carson-Newman students. Bring in your valid student ID when you order for pickup or delivery, and Domino's in Jefferson City will give you a steaming hot large one-topping pizza for $4.99. That's a large one-topping pizza for Carson-Newman students for $4.99 at Domino's in Jeff City. Call 865-471-6700 to order. That's 865-471-6700. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
The Eagle Sports Network is part of SAC Live, the official digital network of the South Atlantic Conference. SAC Live is the home of all your South Atlantic Conference sports action, including 20 SAC championships. Time to get caught up with some SACtion. Here are the happenings around the South Atlantic Conference and the nation. Let's go around the league with a ShopCNEagles.com scoreboard update. Now back to the arena.
We're back here inside of Tex Turner Arena where at halftime Lincoln Memorial leads it by a 27-26 margin here at halftime. To take a look at the ShopCNEagles.com halftime scores. Check out Carson-Newman Athletics official online store at ShopCNEagles.com, featuring more than 1,100 products from T-shirts and polos to phone skins and pet collars. That's ShopCNEagles.com, the official online store of the Carson-Newman Eagles. Well, one game from Wednesday that caught everybody's eye. Catawba throttled Lenore Rhine, 75-58 in that ball game. on Wednesday, and that was a blowout from the jump in that one. Catawba dominating previously undefeated LR. The Bears do not play today. Games today that are of note, Wingate is at Catawba, and that one is right now 33-30 Wingate with 7:37 to go in the third quarter. Brianna Troutman, the reigning conference player of the year, has 8. Lyric Thornton, the league's leading scorer, has 13 for Catawba. 7 teams right now are within a game of first place in the league standings. Anderson trying to hold off Coker right now. They played a minute into the third quarter. It is 32-28 in favor of Anderson. That game just starting the third quarter. Diamond McDowell with 13 leads the way for all scorers so far for the Trojans. And with 8:46 left in the third, it's a 4-point contest. Carson-Newman's next opponent, Tusculum, is dominating Mars Hill. 37-18 at the 8:25 mark of the third period. 15 points from Schultz. She's made 6 of 11 from the floor. 10 from Tham, who needs a rebound to get another double-double for the nation's leader in the category. Mars Hill, 4 of 27 from the field. Bluefield State and UVA-Wise will play later today in a non-conference game. And those are your scores of note from around the rest of the league. Here today, Carson-Newman is trailing it for the 8th time this season. 2-5 when trailing at the half this year, down 27-26 at the break. Second half action comes your way when we return. Can LMU continue to hold the advantage, or does Carson-Newman have a jolt in the second half? We'll find out when we come back to Tex Turner Arena in a moment on the Eagle Sports Network.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long. From the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Looking to make your home more comfortable and affordable? Maybe a new electric heat pump or new attic insulation? And don't forget new doors and windows. AEC is here to help. We've got a quality contractor network, easy financing, and ANC inspects every job to assure the highest quality satisfaction. Visit our website at aecoop.org for application, contractor list, and more details. AEC, we're power with purpose. This is Carson-Newman basketball.
Into the front court, losing her dribble, kicks it out, right wing, 3 from Bergstrom is up and good. As the buzzer sounds to end the first half.
On the Eagle Sports Network.
Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
At Aramark, this year we go back to our foundation. At Aramark, we are great food and great service with great guests. That is the Aramark way. From coffee at Maples to sandwiches in Stokely, Aramark is here to produce high-quality food for you. A foundation of fresh food, a foundation of speedy service, and a foundation that's built for you, now and for the future. That is the Aramark way.
Carson-Newman trails Lincoln Memorial 27-26 at halftime. Before we start off half number 2, we pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Eagle Sports Network. Skip Roberts is back inside of Mountain Talk 106.3 studios, keeping us on the air. Our appreciation to him. As always, I'm Michael Watring sitting courtside as Carson-Newman trails Lincoln Memorial 27-26 at the break here in Harrogate. Carson-Newman has had some success in recent years in this gym. They've won 5 of the last 7 overall in the series, including a win last year sweeping the regular season series. But overall, under Mike Mincy, just 4-7 in Harrogate, and as a program, 20-20 in these trips. Lady Eagles spreading the wealth well offensively, but turnovers 6 in the first quarter, 5 in the second quarter. LMU is not completely hurt Carson-Newman in those areas, but the difference in the game is Carson-Newman's inability to get consistent shot attempts at the offensive end of the floor. See how Mike Mincy comes out here to start the second half. For LMU, it'll be Rios, Conta, Maney, Joyner, and Smitty. No sign of Lauren Flowers after that injury to her head where she had a little bit of a cut right above the left eyebrow. No sign of her since that point, so they might be without a player that averages 29 minutes a night. Carson-Newman counters with Penland, Rutherford, Boshiers, Rogers, and Weichel. And Penland to toss it in to Rutherford in the backcourt. Carson-Newman a chance to take its first lead since it was 2-0. Weichel on the right wing. What does Mike Mincy have drawn up here to start off half number 2? Rogers, top of the key, dribbles to her left, spins it to Broshier's left wing. Now Rutherford in the left corner. Kicks it to the left wing. Penland, 15 on the shot clock as she dribbles left. And it looks like whatever Carson-Newman had draw up did not work. Rogers on the right wing, goes between the legs, 6 on the shot clock. Weichel, top of the key, 3. That is short. Rogers nearly had the rebound. Instead, they call a tie-up, and the possession goes to LMU. Well, Carson-Newman did not get a terrific look at the cup right there, and the possession to start off the second half that never really had good bite to it. 9.5 to play in the third. Carson-Newman trails by 1 in the full court press. It's a steal. Weichel got a tip at midcourt. Rutherford picks it up, gets to the block, hangs, floats, too strong, off the back iron, and Conta is there to rebound it and give it to Rios. Rios throws it forward. That's 2 possessions. Carson-Newman had chances to take leads, and they don't get very good looks either time. Rios dribbling left baseline. Rutherford rides her. Rios reverse layup. Too strong this time around. Threw it high off the window. Hit the back iron, and Rogers the board. Rogers sprints front court. Kicks it to Boshiers left wing. Rutherford cross court pass right point. Penland juggles. Gets to the lane. Sweeps through a defender and tickles in a right hand teardrop. Carson-Newman's first lead of this second half is its first lead since it was 2-0 at the very beginning of the game. 1 point Carson-Newman lead. 8:40 to play in the third. Maney, top of the key, throws it to the right wing and Rios. Now Joyner, top of the key, left wing Conta. It's man-to-man Carson-Newman defense. Lady Eagles wearing the navies. LMU in the whites. Smitty dribbles left, gives it back Maney. Maney backs down against Weichel on the block, throws it cross court. Rios left wing. They'll let her shoot. She rattles out another. Rios 22% from deep this year. 1 point game, Carson-Newman leading it. Weichel left wing, sprints to the lane, gets to the block, hangs, floats off the window and in as she took some contact from Joyner, and Carson-Newman has its largest lead of the day. They've scored the first 4 out of halftime and lead it 30-27, 2 minutes into the third. Rios has it in the center circle. Dribbles left, gives it to Maney, top of the key. Floats it for Joyner, right elbow. Dribbles right, spins back left. Tough fall away shot, too strong as it hits the back iron and floats off the right side. Rogers the board. Carson-Newman accelerating into the front court. Ahead by 3, 30-27, 7:40 to play in the third. Boshiers left wing, fires at Rutherford left corner. Back out, Rogers left wing. Thought about a 3, tosses it cross court, Weichel. Weichel in the right corner, gets to the paint, floats, puts a shot up, and they call a foul. And let's see, do they call the foul on the rebound or on the shot? They call it on Smitty, so that would assume for me to be on the shot, and Weichel is going to the free throw line. Carson-Newman attempted just 4 foul shots in the opening 20 minutes. And Weichel gets to the charity stripe here. Braylon shoots it at 90% on the season. First free throw up and down. Serving East Tennessee for 40 years, McGaha Electric is the perfect choice for all your electrical projects. Visit McGahaElectric.com for all your electrical contracting needs. Second free throw is in. This is a 10-0 run spanning the half. 6-0 to start the half. And a 5-point lead, 32-27, 7.5 to play in the third. Carson-Newman scored the final 4 after trailing by 5 at the end of the first half. They've scored the first 6 to start the second. Smitty dribbles right all the way to the right side of the cup. Misses a right-hand layup. Boshiers got a piece. It misses short. She grabs the rebound as Boshiers. Gives it to Weichel. Weichel sprints to the right side of the lane. Hesitates, picks up her bounce, shuffles it off. Penland, right wing, catch and shoot 3. Short. Boshiers an offensive rebound. Carves out some space and puts in the layup. 12 unanswered for the Lady Eagles to start the second half. It's 8-0, 12-0 overall, and it's a 7-point lead. Largest of the day for either side, matching LMU's 22-15 spread of that first half. Joyner to Conta. She dribbles right to the elbow on the right side. Gives it to Rios. Sprints to the paint. Gets shut down by Rutherford. Hands it back for Conta. Gets a running start. 6 on the shot clock as Joyner catches. Joyner between the legs. Spins around. Goes up, under. And she's called for a traveling violation. LMU has not scored since the 157 mark of that first half. And there's 6:23 to go here in the third. Carson-Newman leads by 7, looking to extend that, leading at 34-27. Weichel right side of the lane, working against Rios, hanging, floating it off the window and in. Strong take by Weichel. Carson-Newman is rolling. 14 unanswered overall and the first 10 of the second half. It is a 9-point lead. Lady Eagles coming out with some energy out of the locker room. It was 6:11 to play in the third. Carson-Newman will try to keep it going when we come back. Good times here in Harrogate so far in the second half for the Lady Eagles on the Eagle Sports Network.
At InterDigital, we strive to be a leading provider of cutting-edge digital and marketing solutions. At InterDigital, we want to help our clients find success. Our team of technology gurus work together to ensure InterDigital continues to progress forward as technology advances. At InterDigital, we make technology work for you. Visit interdigital.com for IT support, web development, virtual tours, graphic design, internet marketing, mobile app, and film production services.
InterDigital, laser-focused on your success.
Serving East Tennessee for 40 years, Magaha Electric is the perfect choice for all your electrical projects. Magaha Electric specializes in commercial, retail, manufacturing, residential, and industrial contracting needs. Magaha Electric can provide superior service, technical know-how, and realistic budgeting for any size project in a timely, cost-effective manner. Visit MagahaElectric.com for all your electrical contracting needs. Magaha Electric, your East Tennessee electrical contracting source.
Carson-Newman has scored the first 10 of the second half, and after trailing by 5 in the final 2 minutes of the first half, they now lead by 9, 36-27, 4 minutes into the third quarter. LMU breaking the pressure, Smitty to set things up. She's 1 out of 10 from the floor for a player that averages 15 a game. Can they get her going? Maney on the right elbow. Dribbling to her left, backing down Penland. Boshears is there with a shot block as she got her left hand to it on the backside of Maney. Carson-Newman looks to keep things rolling along. Leading at 36-27, 5:40 to go in the third. Boshears fires it over to Penland left wing. Now out top Rogers. Rogers, backdoor cut. Boshears catches and puts it in. 12 in a row out of the locker room for the Lady Eagles. 38-27, Carson-Newman on top. And a foul is whistled. Rogers fouling Joyner as she was catching a pass. Carson-Newman is on a 16-0 run. They've had only one scoring run of greater than that this season. Lady Eagles had a 22-0 run earlier in the year. Rios spins it over to Joyner. Back to Maney, top of the key. Fires it to Smitty left wing, underneath for Joyner. Squares up, cross-court pass, Rios. Again, they will let her shoot that three. She misses another one. Rios continues to chuck it. She's 1 out of 7 from the field as well. Penland front court, crossing over against Rios to the left block. Left-hand layup, left it short. Rutherford swipes it back to Penland. Penland against 2 defenders, forces a shot up as she falls down. Lady Eagles wanted a foul, didn't get it. Smitty in the front court, hesitating, backing down Weichel. Rutherford comes over, nearly got a steal, and then Smitty puts it in. That ends a scoring drought that lasted nearly 8 minutes. Penland in the front court, quickly the other way, draws the foul this time around. So Carson-Newman's overall scoring runs ends at 16 unanswered in the first 12 of the second half. Penland heads to the free throw line with Carson-Newman ahead, 38-29. And it brings us to a pause in play. Carson-Newman on top, 9. 38-29. We'll tell you about Carson-Newman's scoring exploits in more detail when we come back. 4:32 to play in the third and a 9-point Carson-Newman lead here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Quality Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles. Call 423-585-4000 for the Carson-Newman rate. Quality Suites of Morristown, the preferred hotel choice of the Eagles.
AEC is a distributor for Marathon energy-efficient water heaters. We offer 30-gallon to 105-gallon tanks. Marathon water heaters are durable, lightweight, and warranted not to leak as long as you own your home. Foam insulation allows these thermal storage units to provide long-lasting temperature control. Marathon's lightweight tank is easier to maneuver and position. And the bowl-shaped tank bottom allows complete sediment drain. AEC. We're power with purpose.
Braylon Weichel, Campbell Penland, and Skylar Boshiers has scored all of 12 of Carson-Newman's points in the second half. And the margin sits at 9 right now. It's been as many as 11 in the half, 38-29. LMU started this game 8 out of 16 from the floor. Since that point, they're 4 of their last 20 from the field. Carson-Newman's defense putting clamps down during a 3-game conference winning streak. Foes shooting 40% or worse in that stretch. Penland is at the line shooting a pair. First free throw up, and that one's down. Penland to get one more, a 94% foul shooter for the season. Penland's second foul shot is up there, and that one's in. And lead back to a game-high 11, 40-29, 4.5 to play in the third. Carson-Newman's defense has turned it up to a different level in this second half. Lady Eagles trailed 27-22 with 90 seconds to play in the first half. Since that point, an 18-2 run. Maney down the left side of the paint, and a whistle, and a foul is coming. I thought Carson-Newman might have gotten that clean. Instead, they call a reach-in foul in the shot attempt on Campbell Penland that sends Maney to the foul line. Maney this season has been brutal at the line. 7 of 24 at the free throw line this season. Smith is into the game for Carson-Newman, replacing Penland. Smith playing with 3 personal fouls. And Maney at the free throw line trying to bust out of this slump at the stripe, and she missed the first foul shot. This season, Maney shooting 28% at the free throw line. 7 of 25. And she gets one more crack at it here. The left-hander who missed last season with a knee injury. Second free throw up. That rattles out. Rogers has the board. So the free throw woes continue for Maney, a preseason third-team All-League pick. 4:10 to play in the third. Carson-Newman leads by 11. Smith on the right elbow. Squares up as she looks for Boshier. Dribbles a couple times. Stops on the left elbow. Throws it to the left corner, Rutherford. Around the screen, kick it out. Weichel, left point. She sprints to the left side of the lane. High arcing, teardropping floater. Too strong. Rebound into the hands of Boshiers. Too tall for Rios. Back to the left corner, and Weichel. Plenty of time on the shot clock with Carson-Newman ahead by 11. Weichel hands it back for Boshier. 9 and now 8 to shoot. Weichel back top of the key. Floats it to the free throw line. Smith down the left side of the paint. Gets shut down there. Spins around. 2 on the shot clock. Forces a shot up. It's an air ball as the shot clock expired. Konsa grabs it. Worst possession of the second half for Carson-Newman offensively on that trip. Rios dribbles right. Hands it off Smitty. Not looking to shoot after those shooting woes. Maney down the left side of the paint. Stops on the left block. Forces a shot up. Doesn't get it over the front of the rim, and it is rebounded by Rutherford. Gives it to Rogers. Carson-Newman ball ahead by 11. Rogers into the paint. Stops. Kicks out Weichel. Carson-Newman ahead by 11. 40-29. 3:05 to play in the third. Weichel dribbles right wing. Hands it off Rutherford. Gives it to Smith. Smith, backdoor cut. Weichel on the right block. Hangs, floats, and puts another one in. A dozen for Weichel. 8 in the second half. It is a 20-2 Carson-Newman run to take this 42-29 lead. Lady Eagles whistled for a foul in the full court pressure. Rutherford called for her third with 2:47 to play. LMU is 1 of 8 from the field in the quarter. Carson-Newman outscoring LMU 16-2. They lead it by 13, 42-29. Smitty has it, 15 a game. Today she has just 5. Has it on the left wing, and an illegal screen set by Maney. That is her third. Maney was setting the screen for Smitty, and she was moving, and Maney called for her third personal foul. 2:36 to play in the third. Carson-Newman leads 42-29 after trailing by as many as 7 in the first half. Rutherford dribbling towards the front court. Gets across the timeline and along this near right sideline. The blue sideline. Rutherford dribbles to her right as Carson-Newman possesses it ahead by 13. Gets to the right block, takes the body bump, and smooches the window to put it down. A 22-2 run for Carson-Newman and an 18-2 start to the half. 44-29. LMU no answers offensively right now. 2:15 to play in the third. Carson-Newman leads by 15. Smitty dribbles across the timeline for the white-jerseyed LMU Rail Splitters. Joyner a touch at the free throw line. Had 10 in the first quarter, 2 since. Maney right wing, three-pointer, short iron. Weichel grabs her seventh rebound of the day. 15-point Carson-Newman lead, 1:55 to play in the third. Weichel dribbles to the right corner, bounces out Smith. She gets a running start down the lane, gallops to the right block, misses a layup, tried to force it up with the left hand. Joining the rebound for LMU. She dribbles front court with 100 seconds to play in the third. Carson-Newman leading at 44-29. Smitty, a left wing three, rattles out, went halfway down the canister and popped out. Boshears the rebound. Carson-Newman ball ahead 44-29. They've scored 6 unanswered. LMU has scored just once in the last 10 minutes of basketball. Rutherford left wing to Rogers right point. Sprints around to Smith screen, stops at the free throw line, misses a jumper short. Rios the board for LMU. Backpedaling is Weichel. Rios swings it cross court, Smitty right wing. She dribbles inside of the arc, tosses out, Maney top of the key. Puts up another three. This one's way too strong. Rogers the board. That's her 6th. 1 minute to play in a third quarter that has been dominated by Carson-Newman. Lady Eagles outscoring the Splitters 18-2 in the frame. All Carson-Newman in the period, leading by 15. Weichel dribbles to her right, accelerates to the right block, bounces it out for Rogers left wing. A cutting Rutherford catches and then is called for a travel with 43 seconds to play in the third. Carson-Newman's first turnover of the third quarter comes with under a minute to play. In the last 11 minutes of basketball, LMU has 2 points. 44-29, 40 seconds to play in the third. Rios walks it across midcourt and hands it to Smitty. 44-29, Carson-Newman leads. Rios has it on the right wing. Shuffles it around. It's intercepted by Smith, playing the passing lane. Dribbles to the left block, kisses it off the window. 24 of the last 26 to the Lady Eagles, and it's a 17-point spread. In the last 12 minutes of basketball, LMU has 2 points. The offense is completely gone away. 7-6. Smitty with it for the Splitters. Dribbles right, runs into Smith, kicks it out Conta. Conta running a right-hand shot, wide right, and it is an all Carson-Newman third quarter. The Lady Eagles trailed by 1 at halftime. They lead by 17 after 3, outscoring the Splitters 20-2. A dominating performance in the third. Vintage Mike Mincy basketball. And now 10 more minutes to go. Can Carson-Newman keep the fire rolling? 46-29. Carson-Newman leads going to the fourth here on the Eagle Sports Network.
We love to cheer for our home teams, like the Eagles. It means more when we're rooting for the people we know. Did you know Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider? We're right here in Jefferson City, serving the people we know with our ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband network. And we'd love to serve you. Learn more at trilite.net or by calling 833-847-0824. Go Eagles!
We select our insurance companies the same way you do, very carefully. When you work with us, you can count on receiving fast, courteous, and professional service and quality protection through Auto Owners Insurance. For a no-problem approach for your life, home, car, and business insurance needs, ask us about the No Problem Company, Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency at 423-586-4320 or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown, serving the Lakeway area's insurance needs since 1931.
With 1:57 to go in the first half, Lincoln Memorial had a 27-22 lead. Carson-Newman was reeling offensively, had 12 turnovers. Carson-Newman was really scuffling. Carson-Newman scored the final 4 to gain a little bit of momentum going into halftime, trailed by 1, and then outscored LMU 20-2 in the third quarter, scoring the first 12 of the third 10 minutes. LMU has scored just 2 points in the last 12 minutes of play. And with Carson-Newman ahead by 17, 46-29, we ignite the fourth frame. Can the Lady Eagles keep this thing rolling and pull away from LMU? Looking to win a 4th straight league game. Rutherford dribbles to the right wing, a rare zone defense here for LMU. Weichel in the left corner, lobs underneath Smith, and a blocking foul is whistled on Smitty as she gets her shoulder right underneath the armpit of Smith. So a foul whistled 11 seconds in to the fourth period. Carson-Newman leads by 17. Rutherford to fire it in. Gives it to Weichel, left corner. Weichel dribbles to her left, backpedals, jump shot on the way from the left baseline, and that goes in. 19-point Carson-Newman lead, and it is a 26-2 run. 9:35 to play in the game. Carson-Newman leads by 19. Rios far right sideline sets up the offense for LMU. Carson-Newman in control seemingly now. Smitty looking to get going at the top of the key. Dribbles around the screen. Sprints to the right side, kicks it out. Rios chucks up another 3 and misses another one. And Maney is called for her 4th personal foul. Well, Rios is 1 out of 8 from the field. Smitty is 2 out of 12. No exterior shooting right now for LMU, a team that averages 28 3-point attempts per game this year. Today they're shooting 19% from deep. 48-29, Carson-Newman leads, 9:15 to play in the game. Gonzalez is fouled as she was trying to break this pressure. It goes on Joyner, who picks up her 2nd. Already the team's 3rd with 9:14 to play in the game. 48-29, Carson-Newman on top. LMU has made just 4 of its last 26 shots from the field. Rogers to inbound the ball on the far left sideline in front of Devin Carter. Gives it to Rutherford. She dribbles across the timeline. Carson-Newman ball ahead by 19. Rutherford stops at the top of the key, hands it off Weichel. Weichel looks like man-to-man, maybe a matchup situation here for LMU. Rutherford works across the screen to her left, comes back to her right, and is called for a traveling violation. Second half turnover for Carson-Newman. Been much better in that area in their second half. LMU trying to solve the puzzle offensively. Been held to single digits in the last 2 quarters. 8 in the second, 2 in the third. Down by 19. Smitty between the rings. Weichel on her man-to-man defense for LMU. Left corner, Rios. Conta, left wing, top of the key, Joyner. Spins it to the right wing, Smitty. Dribbles once, gives it back to Joyner on the right baseline. Joyner dribbles to the right block, puts a shot up. It hits the front of the rim, hops over and goes in. 90 seconds into the third, LMU has points. 48-31. Across the timeline, Gonzalez right wing. Carson-Newman breaks the pressure. Rogers, top of the key, gives it to the left wing, Rutherford. Left corner, Weichel, dribbles left, gives it back out, Smith. Smith sprints to the lane, gets to the left block, floats a little left-hand shot off the window, and down. 6 for Harley Smith. And it's back to 19, 50-31. Carson-Newman 0 of 8 from three-point range for the game. They are 21 of 39 inside of the arc. Joyner at the high post, dribbles left, heaves it out to the left corner, and Conta. Around the perimeter it goes, Rios, right wing, dribbles to her left, kicks it back out, left wing, Conta 3, that doesn't fall. Rebound poked around, and it's picked up by Gonzalez. Carson-Newman a chance for his first 20-point lead of the day. Rutherford left wing, leading it 50-31, and it goes through the hands of Weichel. Cross-court pass and a turnover for Carson-Newman with 7:39 to go in the game. 50-31, Carson-Newman leads. After trailing by 1 at halftime, a 12-0 start to the third and a 20-2 third quarter is the difference in the game. LMU basketball across the timeline in the white jerseys with gray and blue accents. Top of the key, Savage. Throws it to the right wing, Smitty. Smitty dribbles to the right block, puts in a right-hand layup. She has 7 now, as she had been frustrated much of the day. 50-33, 7:18 to play in the game. Gonzalez across the timeline, throws it back for Rogers. Rogers will dribble to the left wing and hand it off to Braylon Weichel. As we wind towards 7 minutes to go, Carson-Newman looks for a 6th win in the last 8 meetings against LMU. Left point, Boshiers gives to the right point, Rogers. Dribbles to the right side of the lane, Throws it cross court. Weichel left wing three on the way. That's too strong. Smitty grabs the board right in front of Braylon in the left corner. Now Alexis Smitty all the way to the left side. Dumps it off for Savage on the left block. Puts the layup up. Puts it in and one. Harley Smith called for her fourth personal foul. And an opportunity for LMU to trim it down to 14. Chloe Savage, 9 out of 11 at the free throw line this season. Penland is in. Smith is out. Well, Carson-Newman flirting perhaps with a little bit of danger here. Time a friend, but the Lady Eagles need to continue to score. Savage's first free throw is up there, and she misses the and one opportunity. Rebound to Penland. Carson-Newman ball ahead by 15. 50-35. Rogers down the right side lane. Kicks it out. Weichel right way. Passes on a three. Kicks it back for Rogers after a couple dribbles. Rogers' three is short. Hops over the rim and is tapped out of bounds by Emily Gonzalez. Carson-Newman's woes from deep continue. 0 out of 10 from three-point range. Lady Eagles, last time they failed to make a three-pointer in a game was 12 years ago, 2011. Smitty across the timeline with 6.5 to go. LMU down 15 with the ball, 50-35. Smitty dribbles left, stops along the left side of the lane, comes back to the right side of the lane, forces a shot off the window and down. 9 for Smitty now, and it's just like that, down to 13. 6 unanswered for LMU. Weichel across the timeline for Carson-Newman. Dribbles to the right side of the lane, gives it back out Penland. 50-37. 5:50 to play. Carson-Newman sets up its offense. Boshear's left point. Shot clock under 10. Penland top of the key. Dribbles right with 5 on the shot clock. Now steps back, a right wing three. Wide left, and it goes out of bounds. Carson-Newman's in a scoring drought of 2.5 minutes. And leading it by just 13, the Lady Eagles need to find that offense again. LMU is in the picture, having scored 6 straight after trailing by a game-high 19. 50-37, 5:40 to play. Rios has it for LMU in the backcourt. Breaking them down, Emily Gonzalez to cross the timeline. Now Smitty, who's gotten hot here in the fourth. Join her right point. Back Smitty. Smitty dribbles left. Crosses over to the right side of the lane and draws a foul. And Alexis Smitty is going to the free throw line. Penland is called for her third. Now she got a hand in there, and Smitty draws the foul. Well, a good quarter here for Smitty. She has 4 points, made both of her shot attempts. LMU is 4 out of 6 from the field in the quarter. And Smitty to the line, a 74% foul shooter. InterDigital strives to be a leading provider of cutting-edge digital and marketing solutions. Visit interdigital.com for IT support, web development, virtual tours, graphic design, internet marketing, mobile app, and film production services. That's InterDigital, laser-focused on your success. Smitty misses the first free throw wide right. And looking to make this a 7-0 run now. Her second free throw is up and down. 7 unanswered for LMU. Down by 12, 5:20 to play, 50-38. Rutherford works it across the timeline for Carson-Newman, looking to end a scoring drought that is nearing 3 minutes. Boshear's left wing, gives it to Weichel, top of the key. 17-16 on the shot clock. Mike Mincy will call for time, and Lady Eagles will reset. LMU's on the comeback trail. They have scored 7 unanswered. Can Carson-Newman close this out, or does LMU have a comeback? We find out when we come back. Carson-Newman leads it 50-38. 5:07 to play in the game here on the Eagle Sports Network.
When you're sick and tired of fast food and need a fresh home-cooked meal, turn to Lisa's Country Kitchen. Lisa's been cooking up her fresh, never-frozen food for the Lakeway area for more than 15 years. Lisa's cares about her customers. You may enter a stranger, but you'll leave a friend. From foot-long hot dogs to juicy steaks, Lisa's has the best food for the best prices.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
At Aramark, this year we go back to our foundation. At Aramark, we are great food and great service with great guests. That is the Aramark way. From coffee at Maples to sandwiches in Stokely, Aramark is here to produce high-quality food for you. A foundation of fresh food, a foundation of speedy service, and a foundation that's built for you, now and for the future. That is the Aramark way.
Carson-Newman hasn't scored in the last 3 minutes and 7 seconds. The good news is they built up a 19-point lead to have a little bit of breathing room. It sits, however, at 12 now as LMU has scored 7 in a row. 5:07 to play in the game. There's 15 on the shot clock. It's Carson-Newman basketball, wearing the road navy jerseys with white and orange accents. LMU in the whites, gray and blue. And the accents for the splitters. Penland will inbound the ball for Mike Mincy's group. They give it to Rutherford. Rutherford tosses it to the right elbow, Rogers. Rogers dribbles right to the block and gets hip checked by Savage. And that forces a foul on Savage, and that is the last foul to give for LMU. So Carson-Newman is in the bonus for the final 5:01 of the game. 50-38, Carson-Newman on top after trailing by as many as 7 in the first half. Penland comes to get it in the right corner, tosses it for Rogers, top of the key. Rogers swings it left wing, Rutherford. Rutherford passes it to Penland in the left corner, and Penland steps out of bounds. Third turnover of the corner for Carson-Newman, and the drought continues, and LMU could make this a single-digit game if they hit a 3. They've hit 4 in the game. Carson-Newman hasn't made 1. 4:45 to play, 50-38, Carson-Newman on top. Smitty on the right wing. Sets up the offense against man-to-man defense. LMU ball, Smitty dribbles to her left, all the way to the left block, uses the right hand to put in the layup. It's 9 in a row for LMU. Carson-Newman ahead by just 10 now, 50-40, 4:25 to play. How does Carson-Newman get that offense clicking again? Rogers dribbles to her right, hands it off Weichel, top of the key. She dribbles left, gives it to the left corner, Boshiers. Back Weichel left wing, tosses it for Rogers. Rogers dribbles to her right, gathers, spins, puts a shot up, and draws another foul on Savage. Her second personal foul, and Keely Rogers goes to the line with 4:07 to play in the game, looking to break up a scoring drought that has lasted 4 minutes and 7 seconds so far. First free throw from the rookie from Farragut High School in Knoxville is too strong. 50-40 with 4:07 to play. Rogers to get one more. Carson-Newman 6 out of 9 at the stripe. Second one from Keeley up. That gets a friendly roll. Puts an end to a 9-0 burst. And it's an 11-point game with 4:07 to play. 51-40. Smitty grabs the ball at midcourt after it rolls forward from Rios. Gives it back, Smitty left wing. Tosses it, Conda left corner 3. Too strong. Savage an offensive rebound. Tries to pass it out to Rios, and it's poked out of play by Rutherford. Shot clock is at 20. It felt like a second maybe should have come off the clock there, at least. Instead, with 3:57 to go in the game, Carson-Newman's lead is 11. It has been as many as 19 in the second half. Top of the key, Smitty. Left wing, Rios. Rios dribbles right, stops, gives it back. Joyner, left wing, 3 on the way. That one halfway down and out. Rebound is loose, and a foul is on Carson-Newman. And it's on Penland, who picks up her 4th. 3:43 left. Well, Savage got a hand in there, and Penland just didn't completely sweep out Savage. 3:43 left. Carson-Newman 51. LMU 40. And Rios tosses the inbound to the high post, and Smitty. She dribbles left, spins back to her right, to the right side of the lane, puts a shot up that Rutherford blocks, and it trickles out of bounds. 3:37 left to play. Smith comes in. Rutherford goes out for Carson-Newman. Each team has had ebbs and flows in this game. Right now it's LMU riding a hot string. Smitty to the left side of the paint, gets to the right side of the lane, and draws a foul. And that was Carson-Newman's last foul to give. Weichel commits her first. And Smitty will get a free throw, as they say that it was in the act of shooting. Carson-Newman hasn't made a field goal in nearly 5 minutes. But Smitty is back to the line. 2 shots here for Alexis Smitty. Tri-Lite is your home team internet provider, providing Jefferson City with ultra-fast, ultra-reliable fiber broadband. Let them serve you. Visit trilite.net. Smitty again misses the front end of foul shots. LMU as a group in this game is now 2 out of 9 at the free throw line. Talk about a difference in a ball game. There it is right there. Second free throw for Smitty, gets a friendly roll, and it's back to a 10-point game, 51-41. And Devin Carter uses one of his 3 remaining timeouts here in this game. Reminder, stick around after the game. We'll have the AEC electrifying play of the game, powering the Carson-Newman Eagles Mossy Creek in your life. AEC, after all, you're not just a utility customer, you're a co-op member. We'll have that AEC electrifying play of the game. How about Skylar Boshier? She's a rebound away from her first career double-double, 10 points, 9 boards for her. Braylon Weichel with 14 points and 7 boards. Carson-Newman on the glass today is plus 13 overall, 39-26. CN shooting 43% from the field, and after a 20-2 third quarter, it felt like Carson-Newman had a chance to blow this thing wide open. And never did quite take advantage of that opportunity. Carson-Newman leads by 10, 3.5 minutes to go. 51-41 here inside of Tex Turner Arena. Carson-Newman leads this game by 10. Boshier's in the backcourt, throws it along the far left sideline to Weichel. She walks it across the timeline. LMU settles back into defense. Carson-Newman has been outscored 12-5 in the fourth. Smith, right point, gives it to the high post. And Boshier, now right wing, Weichel. Weichel dribbles right, getting some space, kicks it back, Smith. Right wing, 8 on the shot clock, 3:08 to go in the game. Penland sprints to the right side of the lane, floats up a right-hand shot as she's falling down and missed it short. Rebound picked up by Joyner. Smitty to the front court. Alexa dribbling to the right side of the lane, bounces it out. It's intercepted by Penland. Penland will break the pressure and pick up her dribble and bounce it to Boshier. Back to Weichel, 2:48 to play. So a turnover for LMU allows Carson-Newman to drain more time off of the clock, leading at 51-41. Weichel, top of the key, dribbles left around the screen, hesitates, gets to the left block, puts a shot up. It's a blocking foul on Kanta. And Braylon Weichel gets to the free throw line to shoot a pair here in this game. 51-41, 2:35 to play in the game. Braylon Weichel goes to the line here in the final 4 minutes of this contest, leading it by 10. Weichel has a game high, 14. And her first free throw is in. 15 points, breaks a tie with Joyner for the most in the contest. 52-41. Second free throw from Weichel is up there, and she makes it. She's now 8 of 8 at the free throw line in the final 4 minutes of games this year. Back to a 12-point game. 53-41. 2:33 and rolling to go in the game. Rios dribbles to her left-hand side. Carson-Newman in man-to-man defense. LMU down by a dozen. Kanta, top of the key, fires it to the right wing. Smitty dribbles to the baseline, spins back to the middle of the floor, falls away, misses a right-hand shot. Rebound Penland, that is her 8th of the day. Penland nearly had it stolen away by Smitty. Instead, they give Carson-Newman a timeout. 2:13 to go in the game. And certainly Carson-Newman, trying to avoid that pressure, has had some issues. Carson-Newman hasn't made a field goal in 6 minutes. Hasn't mattered as the margin sits at a dozen. 53-41 with 2:13 to go. Resetting things here. Carson-Newman has 1 timeout left. LMU has 2. Possession arrow favors LMU with 2:13 to go in the game. The shot clock sits at 25, and it's Carson-Newman ball in the backcourt. They have 5 more seconds to get it across the timeline. Weichel has 16. Boshiers has 10. 6 from Smith, 7 from Penland, 5 from Rutherford and Rogers, and 2 from McMahon. Rios, Joyner, Smitty, Kanta, and Maney out there. Lauren Flowers has been out since the second quarter when she got a gash above her left eye. Boshiers grabs the inbound in the middle of the floor, dribbles all the way to her left, into the front court to break the pressure, then throws over to Penland right block. Penland nearly had a layup opportunity. Instead, the ball is juggled around, gives it back out Weichel. 12 on the shot clock, 2 minutes to go in the game. Weichel dribbling between the legs. Dribbles to her right-hand side, 7 and 6. Weichel down the right side of the paint, right hand. Teardrop is down. The All-American with 18, and the margin's back to 14. 1:45 to play in the game. 55-41. Maney top of the key. Dribbles right, hands it off Smitty, and a foul is whistled. And they're calling it on Penland, and that is going to be her 5th. I am very surprised that that was not a foul on Maney for an illegal screen, but at the end of it all, it's not a bad trade-off. Granted, Penland fouls out, but Maney is 7 out of 26 at the free throw line this year. Rutherford is in for Penland, who fouls out in the game. And with a score at 55-41 in favor of Carson-Newman, Maney at the free throw line. First free throw coming up here from Jordan Maney. Maney in this game misses another. She's now 0 of 3 at the line. She has 8 points. LMU as a whole is 9 of its last 36 from the field. Maney's second foul shot is up there, and that one rattles out, hits the rim again, and the rebound is picked up by Smith, and they call a foul on Joyner for going after the glass, and Carson-Newman will have more foul shots coming up. Lady Eagles lead by 14, 55-41, 98 seconds to play in the game. Stick with us after this one. Carson-Newman men's basketball gets a dominant Lincoln Memorial side. Eagles looking to snap a 2-game drought. Keely Rogers at the line. 1 out of 4 in the final 4 minutes of games this year, but she sinks the first. Carson-Newman leads by 15 again. Rogers bends the knees, bounces the ball, puts the shot up there. Too strong this time around. And Carson-Newman settles for a 15-point lead with 1:34 to go. Conta left corner. Rios with it for LMU with 90 seconds left, down by 15. Splitters were able to get the score all the way down to 10 points. Never could get closer than that. Smitty left wing, three-pointer on the way and down. And it's down to 12. 56-44, 1:15 to go. Weichel along this near right sideline works against Joyner. And they call a foul on LMU. It's going to go on Joyner. LMU was thinking that perhaps it should be a travel. Instead, Joyner picks up her fourth. So LMU was able to get this thing down to a 10-point game twice at 50-40 and 51-41 with 3:34 left. But Weichel is back to the free throw line looking to have 2 foul shots to get her to 20 points in the game. First free throw up there, and it is all nylon for Braylon Weichel. One more coming up here for the Greenville, Tennessee native. Second shot from Braylon is up and down, and that's her 5th 20-point scoring effort of the season and 48th for her career. She's closing in on 2,000 for her illustrious career. 58-44, Carson-Newman on top by 14 as we wind under a minute to go. LMU ball. Joyner dribbles to her left, gets shut down by 2 defenders, throws it out top of the key. Conta swings it right wing. Smitty with a team high 16, bounces underneath. Maney left hand hook shot too strong. Smith there for the rebound. 3/4 of a minute to go. Carson-Newman will not make a three-pointer unless they get one on this trip for the first time in 322 games. It has been since November 26, 2011, since Carson-Newman last made a three. 15 on the shot clock. They lead by 14. Weichel on the left wing. Works around a Smith screen on the right wing. Goes all the way to the right block. Stops there. Kicks it out. Smith right corner. Dribbles a couple times. Kicks it back out. Weichel just inside of the three-point arc. Missed it short. Boshears is there for her first career double-double in the right corner. She gets fouled and goes to the line. Skylar Boshears, 10 points, 10 boards. First career double-double for the junior from La Follette, Tennessee. And Lady Eagles with 12.1 seconds to go with a chance to ice this one away. And Boshears at the line. Skylar this year has not attempted a foul shot in the final 4 minutes of a game. She's at 76% for her career in the final 4 minutes, and she misses the first. Second foul shot here from Boshears. Coming up. Skylar bends the knees, puts the shot up there, and puts it in. And it's to a 15-point game as LMU calls for time. 59-44, 12.1 seconds to go in the game. Carson-Newman on top by 15 points. They've led by as many as 19. The score was trimmed to 10 twice, last time being at 3:34 to play. And Carson-Newman will be able to close this thing out and take down LMU by double figures. And I can't think that has happened all that frequently. Last year, Carson-Newman won by 7 in Harrogate. They lost in 2021. The year before that, they won by 16 in Harrogate. So that was January 29th, 2020. They won 83-67 here. So leading it by 15 points. Carson-Newman will have a chance to try to assault this one away. It'll be Rios to inbound the basketball on the far right sideline. Throws it to Maney. Now to Smitty right wing. Back to Rios in the right corner. 8-7 to go. Smitty right wing. 6-5 as she dribbles to the lane and draws a reach-in foul on Braylon Weichel. And Smitty to the line with 4.8 seconds to go. Well, it's been a good fourth quarter for Alexis Smitty. She has 11 points of the team's 15. So Smitty back to the charity stripes. He's made just 2 out of 4 at the line, though, here in the quarters. The first free throw is up, and that rattles out. So she has missed the front end of all 3 journeys to the line in this frame. 4.8 seconds remain. Carson-Newman leads at 59-44. And looking to win a 4th straight game against the league. Second free throw from Smitty is up there, and it is in. So 12 points from Smitty in this final period. Inbound to Weichel. She doesn't have to dribble. She doesn't have to do anything. 1 second, and there's your final horn. Carson-Newman takes down Lincoln Memorial by double figures on the road. A monster second half where they outscore LMU 33-18, and Carson-Newman is into the win column by a final score of 59-45 here against Lincoln Memorial. A 4th straight conference victory, 59-45. Carson-Newman wins it on the road, and we'll have the full wrap-up here on the Domino's postgame report after Carson-Newman's victory here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Official Eagle merchandise, look no further than the Carson-Newman bookstore. With a large selection of Carson-Newman gifts and apparel, you're sure to find something to please the entire family. From stuffed eagles to towel sets, sweatshirts, shorts, hats, and slippers, we literally have you covered from head to toe. We have just the item you're looking for no matter what the season. So whether you're an Eagle student, parent, alumni, or fan, shop us for everything orange and blue. Call 865-471-3539 for more information and store hours. We'll see you at the Carson-Newman bookstore.
Serving East Tennessee for 40 years, Magaha Electric is the perfect choice for all your electrical projects. Magaha Electric specializes in commercial, retail, manufacturing, residential, and industrial contracting needs. Magaha Electric can provide superior service, technical know-how, and realistic budgeting for any size project in a timely, cost-effective manner. Visit MagahaElectric.com for all your electrical contracting needs. Magaha Electric, your East Tennessee electrical contracting source.
The game's over, but we're just getting warmed up. The Domino's postgame report starts in 60 seconds on the Eagle Sports Network.
At InterDigital, we strive to be a leading provider of cutting-edge digital and marketing solutions. At InterDigital, we want to help our clients find success. Our team of technology gurus work together to ensure InterDigital continues to progress forward as technology advances. At InterDigital, we make technology work for you. Visit InterDigital.com for IT support, web development, virtual tours, graphic design, internet marketing, mobile app, and film production services.
InterDigital, laser-focused on your success.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
This is the Domino's postgame report on the Eagle Sports Network.
Picked up by Rutherford, shovels it to the right wing. Weichel catches, puts the layup off the glass.
Your stats breakdown, a conversation with Mike Mincy, and player interviews are all headed your way. Today's game is also brought to you in part by Appalachian Electric Cooperative. We're AEC, powering the Eagles and Mossy Creek. By Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles. By the Eagle Club, the family of Eagles. By Pepsi, that's what I like. By Magaha Electric, providing quality electrical services and products to East Tennessee for more than 40 years. By InterDigital, IT support and marketing, laser-focused on your success. By the Bible Insurance Agency, the agency that's service built. By the Aramark, a foundation of fresh food and speedy service. By Lisa's Country Kitchen, the best food for the best prices. By the Tennessee National Guard, a generation of volunteers. By Food City, value every day. By Tri-Light, Dream big with Gig by Quality Suites of Morristown, an official hotel of the Carson-Newman Eagles, and by ShopCNEagles.com, the official online store of the Carson-Newman Eagles. Let's head back to the arena and the voice of the Lady Eagles, Michael Wattray.
Carson-Newman closes it out here in Harrogate by a final score of 59-45 here against this Lincoln Memorial Rail Splitter group on this Saturday afternoon. Lady Eagles take down the victory, and Carson-Newman has now won 6 of the last 8 against this LMU side, and a fine showing by Mike Mincy's group back into the win column after the loss to Belmont Abbey on Tuesday. And Carson-Newman victorious here this afternoon. Time to run you through some of the final statistics. Sling in our AEC electrifying play of the game, get our Food City play of the game, and send it over to Adam Cavalier, standing by, the newly minted father of a second daughter, for the men's game coming up here in just a moment. Final statistics from this one. Carson-Newman goes 23 of 54 from the floor. That's 43% in the game. 0 of 11 from three-point range. That snaps a string of 322 straight games with a three-pointer. First time since November 26, 2011, Carson-Newman did not make a trifecta, but the Lady Eagles go 23 of 43 inside of the arc instead. Lady Eagles go 13 of 18 at the free throw line, 72%. 7 of those makes came in the fourth. Braylon Weichel with her 48th career 20-point scoring effort finishes with a game-high 20 points, 7 rebounds and 2 assists for Weichel. Skylar Boshears, the first career double-double in her time, 11 points and 10 rebounds, added a block and a steal in the game. Only 2 players in double figures for Mike Mincy's group. Campbell Penland with 7 points, 8 rebounds, 6.6 boards for Keely Rogers in her first career start. 6 points and a board for Harley Smith. 5 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 assists for Tori Rutherford, and 2 points apiece for McMahon and Gonzalez. LMU on the other side goes 18 of 54 from the field, 33%, and 5 out of 25 from long range, 20%. 4 out of 14 from the free throw line, 29% on the day. Led in scoring, Alexis Smitty. She put up 12 in the final 10 minutes of basketball after a frustrating start to the day. She added 4 assists and 3 rebounds. Sakita Joyner with 14 points and 6 boards for her. 8 from Jordan Maney, 2 from Giovanna Rios, 2 from Lauren Flowers, and 2 from Chloe Savage in the game. Carson-Newman leads in the paint, 42-24, 10-4 on second chance points, 7-3 fast break points, 9-2 bench points. LMU won the battle 13-12 off of turnovers. Carson-Newman had 5 turnovers in the second half of play as well. Carson-Newman wins it. Final score in this one, 59-45. Time for today's AEC electrifying play of the game, brought to you by the Appalachian Electric Cooperative. And it goes to Carson-Newman's scoring surge there to start off the third quarter. Lady Eagles were getting everything rolling, buckets, layups, jumpers, and Lady Eagles used that 16-0 run spanning the halftime break. And that is today's AEC electrifying play of the game. After all, you're not just a utility customer, you're a co-op member. Our Food City player of the game is Skylar Boshears, first career double-double for Sky, 11 points and 10 boards for Skylar Boshears in the game. She is today's Food City player of the game, value every day. That is Food City. We're back to wrap things up with one more segment here as Carson-Newman takes down LMU 59-45 from Texas Turner Arena, and we'll wrap things up on the Domino's post-game report in just a moment on the Eagle Sports Network.
Building a new home? AEC can help. Build an all-electric home with an electric heat pump, an electric water heater, an electric range, and an electric washer and dryer. AEC's certified energy inspector will provide expert advice during construction and a complete home inspection upon finish. Before the drywall is in place, call AEC at 865-719-8322. AEC, We're power with purpose. We select our insurance companies the same way you do, very carefully. When you work with us, you can count on receiving fast, courteous, and professional service and quality protection through Auto Owners Insurance. For a no-problem approach for your life, home, car, and business insurance needs, ask us about the No Problem Company, Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency at 423-586-4320 or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown, serving the Lakeway area's insurance needs since 1931.
More player interviews and stats come your way in 60 seconds when the Domino's postgame report continues on the Eagles Sports Network.
When you're sick and tired of fast food and need a fresh home-cooked meal, turn to Lisa's Country Kitchen. Lisa's been cooking up her fresh, never-frozen food for the Lakeway area for more than 15 years. Lisa's cares about her customers. You may enter a stranger, but you'll leave a friend. From foot-long hot dogs to juicy steaks, Lisa's has the best food for the best prices.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City has deals for Carson-Newman students. Bring in your valid student ID when you order for pickup or delivery, and Domino's in Jefferson City will give you a steaming hot large one-topping pizza for $4.99. That's a large one-topping pizza for Carson-Newman students for $4.99 at Domino's in Jeff City. Call 865-471-6700 to order. That's 865-471-6700. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Carson-Newman takes down Lincoln Memorial by a final score of 59-45 here today as the Lady Eagles take down the Splitters. They've now won back-to-back visits to Harrogate for the second time under Mike Mincy and are now 5-7 under Coach Mincy when traveling to take on LMU in that stretch. One note, kind of a quirky note, Carson-Newman's streak of 322 straight games with a three-pointer was snapped. But just like the last time they failed to make a three-pointer, November 26, 2011 against Delta State, Carson-Newman wins despite not making one from long range. Doesn't matter. Lady Eagles win it 59-45, and now that sets up a showdown for first place in the Mountain Division against Tusculum on Wednesday night. That'll be at 5:30 as the Pioneers boat race Mars Hill 82-44 in that game. Anderson holds off Coker 63-56 as Jalen Sperlin with 16 second-half points finishes with 18, 15 apiece for McDowell and Sheridan as well. And Catawba pulls away from Wingate 67-57. Lyric Thorne finishes with a game-high 28 points in the game. Here, Carson-Newman wins by 14, 59-45 over Lincoln Memorial. And now Adam Cavalier, for the first time in a week, is back on the microphone as he's ready to roll. Carson-Newman men's basketball is back in action. For the women, we'll talk to you again on Wednesday, 5:15 for Carson-Newman and Tusculum in another classic bash. And here it is Adam Cavalier standing by. Once again, the final score, Carson-Newman 59, LMU 45 here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Tri-Light is proud to support Carson-Newman Athletics. We salute the student athletes who are working hard to make great things happen on the field, in the classroom, and in the world. It takes vision, commitment, and teamwork, qualities we share at Tri-Light. Our mission is to provide life-changing opportunities by building. If you'd like to learn